dog.net.
Upgrade your backyard with the custom patio cover from Precision Windows and Doors. Call us at 210-596-6588. PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Bjorn's has evolved. Our team's been bringing cutting-edge tech home for 50 years.
Come visit the Bjorn showroom on 281.
We'll show you how the future of technology can fit perfectly into your world. Because if it's technology,
it's at Bjorn's. Just Bjorn's.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time 6:05. Let's get a quick check of KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning. As you get into your early morning commute, we've got some road work could possibly slow you down on the northeast side at 35 northbound at Judson Road. 2 right lanes blocked. Stop and go from 410. 35 southbound, Schertz Parkway to Olympia Parkway. 2 right lanes closed. That's a 7-8 minute delay. Slow from FM 3009. On 35 southbound, Randolph on down to 410. 10-12 minutes. This road work has just the left lane getting by. Otherwise, everything else right now looking good, rolling at posted speeds. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
You may want to take your umbrella today. It'll be cloudy to start, then a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a thunderstorm. Warm and humid, the high of 83. Becoming cloudy and cooler tonight, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Mostly cloudy skies, about 75 degrees at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Well, again, 35 is shut down to one lane.
No.
From Schertz Parkway all the way to Eisenhower Road.
No.
And they're working in one spot.
No.
One place is where the work's going on. I got behind somebody who had just obviously left a club.
Oh, really?
Or a bar.
Oh, really?
Oh, because
weaving a little or what?
I don't know how many barrels she took out, but there was a few of them that went
It's going to
flying.
be worse tonight. They have a Spurs game.
Oh, yeah.
God, I'm staying behind locked doors.
Careful driving.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's what is this? It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It's May 6th, which means coming up, John Hayward will join us, and we had this yesterday.
Right there, in the black. Right, you in the black. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Where you? No, right there. You.
me?
I you both are wearing black.
Thank you.
She's closer. No, you don't have black. You have blue on. I'm colorblind, but I know blue and black. Right there. Yes, ma'am. No, you. The first one I put on. Thank you. This is chaos, guys.
Yeah, this is total chaos, guys, and it always is, and it has been for a very long time. But you know, this guy is magic.
Tell you about what we're talking about with the leader of these countries.
El Departamento de Estado sigue considerando a Diosdado Cabello un narcoterrorista y un narcotraficante, como dice en la página del Departamento de Estado.
Now that's a reporter asking a question in español.
La política de Estados Unidos en ese tema no ha cambiado, y cuando cambie te dejaremos saber. The politics of the United States on that, on that topic hasn't changed. When it does, you know, obviously
Smooth guy,
inform you,
man.
but I don't have any news for you on that today.
Okay, so she asked the question in Spanish, he answered in Spanish and then English. So that's how we do it in Texas. And then, of course, you know, Jackie tried to throw him a curveball.
Secretary, many people want to know, what is your DJ name?
My DJ name?
Your DJ name.
You're not ready for my DJ name.
You can't handle
it. and this one was also an awesome one.
All right. I have time for 2 more questions. All right, right there in the pink. No, you right there. That lady, no, the one right next to you in the pink. No, the pink. I'm sorry, but I pointed at her. I need to get a laser pointer.
I just point on you people. Now, look, been talking a lot about the messaging concerning the war. This is the guy that should have been on every podcast, on every television show, in front of every major editor and news editing board at every newspaper all across America. He gets how to message.
What is the purpose of the UN? The UN was supposed to be a place where you could peacefully resolve global conflict. Right now, you have a country who is unlawfully, criminally, and illegally taking possession of an international waterway and blowing up commercial vessels and putting mines in the water. I don't know if people appreciate how outrageous this is, how unacceptable it is that any country would fire and try to sink commercial vessels or put mines in the water. Both of these things are illegal. And so we're going to take it to the UN, and we're going to give it another chance to be a forum in which we're not even asking people to commit troops to the region and help blow up the Iranian boats. All we're asking them to do is to condemn it, to call on Iran to stop blowing ships, to remove these mines, and to allow humanitarian relief to come through, because there's humanitarian aid that's trapped. That's it.
All he's got to do is go on the Joe Rogan show and do what he did and just explain it the way he explained it.
Well, I mean, the one question that is, and you've talked about this, and we've talked about this, the one question he was asked that is that the heart of it as far as American support was he was asked about fuel prices here. How do you respond to people who are saying, "Hey, we're paying more at the pump"? And the first part of his answer I thought was a little gobbledygooky. He said, it was all about, well, we're helping out the world, we're doing the world a favor, and he talked about what you're paying in other countries. But then he got to, if he just stuck to this part, he said, "Now imagine if Iran has a nuclear weapon and they want to raise, and they can completely control the strait, and there's nothing we can do about it because they got a nuke, and they want to raise prices to $8 or $9 a gallon." Well, that would be a different story. See, I think that's the message they got to get out there as far as American support. You've said it. I mean, that's the part of you've got. If the problem is messaging, and the problem is people paying more at the pump and wondering why the hell we're doing this, that's the message you got to hammer home.
This is him doing it right here.
Everybody needs to think about it this way. If Iran had a nuclear weapon and they decided to close the straits and make our gas prices like $9 a gallon or $8 a gallon, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it because they have a nuclear weapon. And a nuclear-armed Iran could do whatever the hell they want with the straits, and there's nothing anyone would be able to do about it. And that's one of the many reasons, apart from the massive loss of life in a nuclear strike, why Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. I mean, so this is an example of, if they had a nuclear weapon, they closed the straits and they would tell the world, what are you going to do about it? We have a nuclear weapon, we can attack you with it. That's the world none of us want to leave behind. It won't happen under this president's watch, but some future president and in the future Americans will have to deal with this. So just one more example of why these guys can never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the message. I mean, don't you think that's a better message than we're doing the world a favor, even though you and I agree with it and we understand that? If you're talking to the general public and trying to get their support going into the midterms, isn't that the message you want to hammer home?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And doing that ahead of time and doing it consistently and clearly over and over again helps people deal with it. Like Monday night here, gas prices went up 50 cents from Monday night to Tuesday morning.
Right.
50 in San Antonio from average of 360 up to about 410, 415. He also made another point. Well, he made a whole bunch of great points.
Oh, yeah.
But this is why I say he should be the messenger on this deal. Listen to this one.
Now, what's really important for you to report and for everyone to understand is this is not an offensive operation. This is a defensive operation. And what that means is very simple. There's no shooting unless we're shot at first. Okay? We're not attacking them. But if they're attacking us or they're attacking a ship, you need to respond to that. You're not going to let some fast boat come up on the ship and shoot it up. We're going to respond to it, and we've been successful at it. I don't know what the exact number is, but I know a number of those fast boats have now been targeted, and will continue to be if they pose a threat to our forces. We'll shoot down drones, we'll shoot down missiles, but it's defensive in nature. This is defensive. So if you hear stories about attacks and launching of firing back and forth, it's not back and forth. We are only responding if attacked first. This is a defensive operation.
I just think he was the clearest one I've heard so far, and that does include President Trump. He's been He's just been super clear. I do have some sound from Trump about it yesterday that was solid gold as well. When he had the kids at the White House, he addressed it too, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But then he was asked a very important question, and coming from a family of immigrants from Cuba, the Secretary of Everything, as they're calling him now. Well, I mean, seriously, he is the Secretary of Everything.
I'm laughing because it's true.
He really is good at it. Here he is addressing this particular point.
Yeah, look, I mean, my hope for America is what it's always been. I think it's the hope I hope we all share. We want it to continue to be the place where anyone from anywhere can achieve anything, where you're not limited by the circumstances of your birth, by the color of your skin, by your ethnicity, but frankly, it's a place where you are able to overcome challenges and achieve your full potential. I think that should be the goal of every country in the world, frankly. But I think in the U.S., we're not perfect. Our history is not one of perfection, but it's still better than anybody else's history. And ours is a story of perpetual improvement. Each generation has left the next generation of Americans freer, more prosperous, safer, and that is our goal as well. But it is a unique and exceptional country, and as we come upon this 250-year anniversary, I think we have a lot to learn and be proud of in our history. It is one of perpetual and continuous improvement, where each generation has done its part to bring us closer to fulfilling the vision that the founders of this country had upon its founding.
That's great stuff. All right, quick break. More Ware and Rima coming up at Texas Rhino Shield. It's going to look beautiful on your home, and it's going to protect your home like paint just simply cannot do. Paint cannot do what Rhino Shield does. Why? Because paint is thin and flimsy compared to Rhino Shield. Rhino Shield is 9 times thicker than paint. 9 times. It's a ceramic coating. And it comes in every single color that you can imagine. You can mix and match colors. You can do contrasting colors. They'll do whatever you want when it comes to colors. And then, of course, you're going to have a 25-year warranty on your home. You won't have to paint your home again for 25 years because this ain't paint. So it protects your home from the sun's UV rays, which is extremely damaging to paint. The UV rays of the sun, your paint is going to fade in just a couple of years. It's going to start to crack and peel. Then you're going to have to repaint in a few short years. You won't have to do that with Rhino Shield on your home. In our case, we put it on a few months ago, and now we're done. For as long as we're going to live in that home, we are done. We won't have to paint it or do anything like this ever again. I got the warranty in hand from Anthony LaBarbera and the team over at Texas Rhino Shield. So reach out to them on their website. Book your free appointment for them to come out and take a look and give you an estimate. Won't charge you for that at all. No obligation at all. And if you mention Trey Ware, they'll take $2,500 off your project at TexasRhinoShield.com. Sun and a few clouds around, a thunderstorm possible today, high of 84. Cooler tomorrow with a high of 70. Right now, 75 at KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, for the most part in good shape. Now, we do have a few stalls. This one here at Rittiman westbound, right at Gibbs Sprawl, northeast side. That's a stalled 18-wheeler and already 3 lanes blocked. We do have police on scene directing traffic. 410 on the frontage road, northbound Bandera Road. That stalls off to the shoulder. And another at 410 frontage road, southbound Old Pearsall Road, southwest side. Stalls got the right lane blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Ware and Rima.
You know, at Window World, they make some, the most beautiful replacement windows you have ever seen for your home. The windows come in any style because they custom make them for your home. And any color under the rainbow. I mean, any color you can imagine. Now, a couple of our windows, or several of our windows, we went with the white casings because it plays really, really well with the brick and the siding that's on our house. But you may choose something different, and that's totally cool because Window World can make it for you that way. And since they're custom made, each window comes with its own identifying number, okay? It's a barcode. So if anything ever happens to that window, they're great warranties. In fact, they have the best warranties in the industry. They just scan that barcode, make you another window, bring it out, and they're certified master installers reinstall the brand new window at your home. Now, day after day, minute by minute, your Window World windows are paying you back. They are the most energy-efficient windows that anybody sells on the market. So you have every reason to buy Window World windows. The beauty, the great installers, the fact that they keep a record of your windows. So if anything, kid hits a baseball through it, you're taken care of. And then on top of all that, the best price guarantee. They won't be undersold at all. Beautiful Design Center on Loop 410 between Broadway and Nacogdoches, or they're happy to come to you with a free, no-obligation in-home quote from Window World at 210-767-0995.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now at your local GNC.
Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. Get 10% off new Catalyst fencing solutions when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a select DeWalt miter saw. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bamba from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
620 KTSA.
Well, when I first got in here, we both kind of, you said it, here we go again. Project Freedom has been paused. This was the operation to safely, escort ships that are not affiliated with Iran in and out of the Strait. It's been paused at the behest or the request of Pakistan. The Iranian foreign minister goes to China to talk to them, right? I think it's largely believed that, obviously China needs the Strait open. So I guess the idea is that China is going to slap them around a bit and say, hey, get your, agree to something. Public perception-wise, what do you think? I mean, public perception-wise, I think people who aren't thinking about this too deeply are like, well, here we go. We're acting tough. Now we're backing down again. We still don't have a deal. A lot of the rhetoric you're hearing from whatever constitutes leadership out of Iran is, no, we're not giving up. This is all about going to heaven. So, you know what I mean? I mean, honestly, that's what you're hearing.
Yeah.
We're Shia. We don't give up. We don't. This is about a mission. We're on a mission from God. We can't back down. So, I mean, it seems to me Trump, again, we discuss about him being a chess player, and maybe China is the one who ultimately has to bring pressure to bear on Iran to get them to do anything. I don't know. But it certainly, from a public perception standpoint, doesn't seem to be a very strong position because we keep talking tough and then backing down.
When is the meeting with China with Xi?
I think it's today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's going to China, or they're just zooming and talking?
It's the Iranian foreign minister.
With Trump?
With Trump.
This week, later this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so that also explains why Iran's going to talk to China.
Right. So, I don't know. We'll see.
What
do you think?
These things...
Next week, 14.
Next week, that's right. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Trump,
it is next week. I had my weeks mixed up in my head. These things are living organisms.
Right.
That's the only way I can try to explain it. So they have a life that pushes and pulls and comes and goes back and forth.
Right.
The difference is, under a Trump administration, it is very transparent because he'll talk to anybody about anything. Now, there's certain things, of course, obviously he plays close to the vest, but he tells the reporters when he's doing that. He says he'll say to them, "I'm not going to tell you that.
I'm going to tell you my plans."
Right. But he's very open about what they're doing minute by minute when he can share that information.
Right.
And so this is no different than any other conflict that we've been involved in where we're trying to come to a resolution with that conflict. But all the other administrations, they don't share the information as to the living thing coming and going up and down. So this is what you get.
I agree with you. It's metabolic. It's an organism.
Yeah.
It's got a life of its own, and it ebbs and flows. I get that, but you understand the public perception. Every time we seem to be acting tough, the public perception is he backs down. That's what the critics are going to say. I don't agree with it. I understand what's going on.
Sure.
But that's what they're saying.
Sure they do. Well, they'll take any chance or any opportunity, not chance, any opportunity to bash him, right? And so 1 minute he's too harsh, and the next minute he's too soft.
Right. He's one day he's being too bold. The next day he's a chicken.
Right.
So
right.
I hope that we get something agreed to very soon. I don't want to see this going on for another couple of months.
One thing. Well, okay, on that front, it's been going on, as you know, for 47 years.
Yes.
So if it takes a few months to try,
Right, I get that, but you understand the longer it goes
I got
on,
you. I got you
the
totally.
more he loses people.
But you know what? He doesn't care.
No, I know.
And he doesn't care. You're talking about the perception, and you're absolutely right. But he doesn't care about that either.
No, man.
He has a goal in mind, and what it. I mean, look. Here's the bottom line. The oil prices. We're going to be dealing with this for months. It's going to take a long, long time for the world to recalibrate on oil production. And the analysts now, and they said this last night, that it's probably going to take 7 months after the conflict ends. Now, nobody knows that for sure, but that's what the oil analysts are saying. We have become the world's largest producer of oil, 250 million barrels in 9 weeks that we've just sold around the world. Now, I can say this about Mr. Trump and the Republicans. They better be praying to high heaven that this is a calm hurricane season that we're about to enter into, and that no storms make it into the Gulf of America. Because if you do, and we have to abandon drilling in the Gulf of America,
right,
and those tankers can't get to the Gulf of America to fill up with our oil, gas prices will double and maybe even triple in that quick.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's there's a couple of variables involved there. I like the way Rubio was saying. You have to understand we're insulated from a lot of this. Yeah, we're suffering some higher prices, but we're exporting more oil and gas than anybody else in the world right now. So yeah, hopefully hurricane season is a quiet one. I thought messaging-wise, Rubio did a great job. He's a very charming guy. He comes off as much more literate than a guy like J.D. Vance as far as the way he makes his way through these very complex topics. I felt he was very presidential.
Well, the kingmakers on the Republican side are going to have a very tough decision in 27.
Oh, yeah.
A very tough decision on who they're going to go with. This was the president yesterday when he had those kiddos in there. He was asked about this.
Other presidents should have done this. 47 years they've been toying with these stupid people. In many cases, stupid people. This should have been done by Obama. He went the other way. He was giving them cash. He sent plane loads of Boeing 757, took the seats out, and put green cash, $1.7 billion in the plane. Every bank in Virginia, D.C., and Maryland was stripped of their cash. They took out all the cash from the banks. They put it into a plane, a Boeing 757 packed with cash, and they flew it to Iran, and they let these guys just, I don't know what the hell they did with it, but they took it.
Well, Mr. President, they killed Americans. And so when I've been talking about the messaging, he needs to be out in front of Rogan and in front of all the others and in front of all the editorial board. He'll come to San Antonio and sit down with the editorial board here. I don't care. But go what you just did and take Marco with you.
Yeah.
This is little Marco. Let him talk for a little while, and then I'm going to talk. But by the time we're done, you're going to understand what's going on here.
Well, and he's got to encapsulate the message.
Well,
it's
sure.
got to be. I hate to say it's got to be bumper sticker quality, but it's got to be bumper sticker quality. It's got to be a couple of sentences that explain what normally takes him about 5 or 6 minutes. Even Rubio was, talking a lot yesterday.
Well, they have this division under Caroline Leavitt that she started that's putting out snippets.
Right.
And so the thing you do is you go on a long form I keep saying Rogan because he's the king of podcasters. That's just an example.
Oh, sure.
There are many others. And you say what you got to say, and if it takes you 3 hours to do it, it takes you 3 hours, and then bombard the universe with your small snippets like you're talking about.
Because I'm just saying, you got to cut through a lot of that crap and get down to the basic nut of it.
Exactly right. Bridgehead IT, they do exactly that too. They cut through everything and get you online when it comes to AI. Are you ready? Is your company ready to lead in AI? If you aren't doing everything that you can possibly do to master AI, your company is going to go backwards, and I mean in a hurry. And that's why I highly recommend my friends at Bridgehead IT. I've known Wes Bunch for years. I've known the group at Bridgehead IT for years. I trust them, and I know what they can do. They're not here to try to sell you some quick fix on AI. They're not here to try to sell you a shiny bot, put this in line. No, what they do is they come up with customized solutions for your business when it comes to AI, but it starts with your AI readiness assessment. How ready are you for the world of AI? Look, it's here. And whether you want to participate or not as a company, you have to in order for your business to not only survive, but thrive. And that's exactly what Bridgehead IT will do. They put together a customized plan for your company so that you can master and thrive in the future of AI. It starts with you just reaching out to them online and having them come do that AI readiness assessment at Bridgehead IT. That's bridgeheadit.com.
Hi, Trey Ware here. If you have pain and limited movement, you're not able to do the things you love to do, but you're not interested in surgery to get better, then contact my friends at Evolve Medical Group. They do PRP, stem cell, hormone replacement, and so much more. They even do primary care at evolvemedgroup.com.
Now more than ever, Texas energy security is national security. That's why Governor Greg Abbott has endorsed Jim Wright's re-election to Railroad Commissioner. Jim Wright understands how important Texas energy is to make sure we keep America first. Jim Wright is focused on making sure hostile foreign nations can never have direct ownership or indirect influence on Texas energy. And he's not stopping there. Jim Wright will keep radical militant Islamists out of Texas energy, protecting our infrastructure and our future. Look at Jim Wright's results. Record oil revenues topping $6 billion, fueling our economy and supporting record state surpluses. Jim Wright knows energy independence is national security, keeping Texas strong and America secure. He'll always stand firm for Texas. Jim Wright, protecting Texas energy, securing America's future. Re-elect Jim Wright for Railroad Commissioner. Election Day is May 26th. Political ad paid for by Texas Now PAC.
A bathroom remodel is not just about looks. It's about comfort, safety, and function, too. Trey Ware here with Safe Showers and Bathwise. They have now joined forces with New Bath Today to bring you more. They're the same trusted people, same great service, and now a whole lot more for you and your new bathroom remodel. New Bath Today still offers beautiful new showers, tub-to-shower conversions, walk-in tubs, and safety upgrades, but now they've expanded to include more complete bathroom remodeling, including toilets, flooring, vanities, and more. So whether you want a safer shower or a total bathroom refresh, I recommend you get in touch with New Bath Today. They can help you create a bathroom that looks better, feels better, and works better for your life. You get quality products, expert installation, and a smoother experience from start to finish. And right now, get $1,500 off your new shower plus low monthly payments. Get your free quote today at newbathtoday.com. New Bath Today, the same trusted team now with more for your bathroom. newbathtoday.com.
Hey, it's Sean. You know, I've been involved with Here in Texas, like Trey, for a couple of years now, and went in not knowing exactly what my hearing issue would be. I was tested by one of the great audiologists over at Here in Texas. Took about, 30 minutes, and found out that my problem is not profound. It is about surface noise. I can't hear somebody standing right next to me because of everything else that's going on, so I was fitted with some hearing aids that deal specifically with that problem. In fact, they now offer subscription plans, so if you want the latest technology, you think there may be a new model that better works for you, you can get that through a subscription plan at Here in Texas. But really what you want to do is go in and get tested first, go in for a consultation at one of their locations. It's very easy to do. You just, if you want more information, go to the website, but first call them up, 830-360-2000, and make that appointment. Again, it takes about 30 minutes. The technology is so precise. They'll know exactly how to help you with some hearing aids at Here in Texas so you can start hearing your life again. That website, hereintexas.com, HEARNTX.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
Is President Trump backing down in the Strait of Hormuz? Well, Iran state media thinks so, but we'll find out if that's true. Trump endorsed candidates showing up big in the Hoosier State last night. That could be a sign of things to come. And the Spurs will try to even up their NBA playoff series with Minnesota tonight. Another loss would mean San Antonio trails 2-0. More on that and other stories coming up at 7 o'clock. KTSA News Time 6:33.
Good morning. Still dealing with a stalled 18-wheeler. This report sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Stalled 18-wheeler, Rittiman Road, westbound right at Gibbs. Sprawl 3 lanes are blocked. Road work at 35 northbound at Judson Road. That's causing a 20-minute delay. 2 right lanes are blocked. Northbound 35 between Rittiman to 410. Roadway reduced to 1 lane. 35 southbound Randolph on down to 410. Should take you about 10 minutes to get through. That road work has just the left lane getting by. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
A front continues to push through today. It'll be cloudy to start, then a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with the thunderstorm. Still warm and humid with the high of 83. Cloudy and cooler tonight, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high just 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
76 degrees and cloudy at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
.635, Ware and Rima, 550 KTSA, FM 1071 on the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline. John Hayward from Breitbart.com. And I'll start with a little sound from the Secretary of Everything yesterday.
The last point I would make, and it really is important for them to understand this, is they really shouldn't test the will of the United States, at least not under President Donald Trump. He has proven time and again that he will back up what he says. And if they test him, ultimately they will lose. The hard way, the easy way, the long way, the short way, they will lose.
John, good morning, and what do you think about where we are with Operation whatever it's called today?
Well, the hot rumor is that there's some kind of a deal on the verge of being agreed to, a short agreement that the U.S. is happy with, and that's why President Trump has paused his project to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. So we will see if that's what happens. We'll know that by the end of today, by the end of tomorrow, if that's actually what's happening here. But they are supposedly pausing Project Freedom just 24 hours or so after they launched Project Freedom, and it seemed to be working. Some ships had successfully transited the strait. Iran launched missiles. They attacked. Everything was blocked, intercepted. There was some minor damage to a ship here and there. But overall, it seemed like it was working. So to pause it so quickly would suggest there is some good reason for that, and maybe it is that they're on the verge of a deal they're happy with.
I'm curious just about the whole Strait of Hormuz situation going forward. Should we not have some sort of international agreement that one country run by a bunch of crazed nut jobs who are really, set theologically on the destruction of the planet so that their Mahdi can come back and kill everybody but them, that these people should never control the Strait of Hormuz, and that it should almost be like a Geneva Convention type thing, a war crime, that if you screw around with the Strait of Hormuz, the entire world is going to annihilate you. Shouldn't we have some sort of agreement like that?
Well, that is very much what the Trump administration wants. They take every opportunity to say the Europeans need to get involved, Asians need to get involved, and everybody needs to have a presence in the strait. And I'm sure what they're envisioning is that the strait will have every nation a station to provide safety. And if Iran ever did anything like this again in the future, they would be attacking the entire world. They would fire ships in the Strait of Hormuz, and there would be an immediate response. I know that's what the administration wants. It remains to be seen if they'll get it. But the Europeans have been talking about doing something like that. They just won't do anything until after the war's over. So the whole thing with Europe is that they'll wait until we've done all the heavy lifting and we've done all the work, and then they'll march in there and supposedly do something or other that will help to secure the strait for the future. I think the more promising long-term plan is that there is supposedly a proposal going around right now to bypass the Strait of Hormuz entirely in a realistic time frame. Within a couple of years, pipelines and ports can be adjusted so that it becomes much less important, and then there's no leverage there. And whether or not they get this international force in an agreement, I would strongly recommend they do that. It's a good idea to not have that choke point exist.
All right, go ahead, Sean.
Do you think the messaging from Rubio yesterday about, the gas prices here at home, because that's obviously the Achilles heel on this thing with a lot of Americans, do you think it's an effective message to say, hey, Iran with a nuke can determine if you pay $9 or $10 or $8 a gallon, so we're better off taking care of this now? Is that going to work with Americans?
It's an effective message to the people that already see it that way, people that are old enough to remember the oil crisis in the 70s, or they know well what happened there, and they're truly worried about that. People that are truly worried about the possibility of a nuclear Iran, that's what they need to hear. For the people that aren't in that camp already, it's just hard to convince them to look past the short term with the midterm election coming up, and it really depends on how bad the gas prices are. They ticked up a bit. Then there was word that oil came down today because of the possibility of an agreement being reached. Has been a roller coaster to ride. But the administration did set something of a limit for itself by saying a while back that $5 gas, which was under Obama, that's where the national average was getting, and in the big crisis after Russia invaded Ukraine, that's what they were talking about as the bad thing. Like, that's where we're in trouble. And I think it's $4.40 right now nationwide, or it was as of yesterday. So that's getting pretty close to their own self-imposed danger zone if they don't bring things down.
Yeah, we're having some phone issues this morning, John. We'll let you go here in a minute, but I did want to get your comments because we're having even more people that are signing up to kill President Trump. We've had two more that allegedly, and in the last couple of days, this Dean Del Shalale, I believe he's 35. He works for the FAA. He was arrested threatening to kill the president. He emailed the White House any number of times using a government computer, so this guy's a brainiac. He was researching assassination and how to get a gun past the Secret Service so he could kill the president. And then you got this Raymond Chandler III guy who's running against Fetterman up in Pennsylvania, and he sent several voicemails over the course of a year, calling people at the White House and stuff and calling other folks as well. I'm going to get you a gun if you can get past security. Go pull the trigger and kill the president. Look, I've been very clear in my position on this. This is the messaging that has been put out by the Kimmels of the world and, of course, the Pritzkers of the world, who, again, yesterday, and I got one word for him, Ozempic, okay? But Pritzker, he's out there yesterday saying Trump is the one who's caused all of this, and people are trying to shoot him because of what he's saying, and he's the guy of violence and all that. The hell with that. For 10 years, they've been calling him Hitler. And John, you know messaging better than anybody. They were doing this on purpose to plant these seeds in nut jobs like this, and it's no surprise that people are, signing up left and right to go shoot the man.
Of course, J.B. Pritzker is a terrorist. He's a political terrorist, and he understands exactly how terrorism works. The way he's putting it, what he said the other day, that's what ISIS says. It's what Al-Qaeda says. It's what Boko Haram says. Every terrorist group in the world, Hamas, they'll all say the exact same thing. It's your fault. Yes, we killed you. Yes, we attacked you. Yes, we raped and pillaged. But you made us do it by not acceding to our righteous demands. So the violence is all your fault. That's the operating principle of terrorism. He understands it. The party understands it. I guarantee you that if one of these left-wing assassins finally does manage to kill Trump, every lefty newspaper and talking head in the country that 10 minutes after it happens is going to say, this is really Trump's fault. He really brought this on himself. In a way, he killed himself by driving people to this. It's disgusting, but it's like I said, it's what terrorists do. This is the well-established pattern of how political violence and terrorism operate, and that's the storyline. It's always your fault. The violence is your fault because you didn't give in to their righteous demands.
It's Trump's fault for setting the tone, the violent rhetoric and all that stuff. But, you look at this guy from the FAA, he had to have known he was going to get caught. I mean, it's almost like threatening the president is the new cool with these people.
That's exactly what it is, and it's a product of the online culture of social media. This is how you get noticed. That's the dangerous thing, the thing I keep going back to with Charlie Kirk being killed, and then all these lefties celebrating on social media, hundreds of thousands of them celebrating he was dead. That sent a message to every would-be assassin. You pull that trigger and you're a superstar, baby. You pull that trigger and you're Tom Cruise, you're Brad Pitt, you're the biggest celebrity in the world, and there's hundreds of thousands of lefties ready to cheer you on. That is what creates the permission structure for terrorism.
Well, I made a video yesterday after that judge, apologized to the alleged, failed assassin, saying that just take Trump out and put Obama in there. What do you think would happen? Do you think a judge would apologize if the guy had tried to kill Obama? Or do you think Jimmy Kimmel would be joking about Michelle being a widow? Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah, it'd be completely unbelievable. You'd be destroyed. There were people that were destroyed under Obama. The rodeo clown with an Obama mask was destroyed, and he didn't say a word. So, you did anything like that to Obama, to Biden, to any left-winger, and they would be all over you saying that you were creating a culture of violence and you were authorizing this and it was all your fault. And the next shooting that happens is your fault. They would never give up on that. So, of course, it's a double game.
I have a very important question to ask you, John. Yesterday in the Oval Office, do you think Donald Trump crushed the dreams of a future Olympic volleyball player by saying that she, might want to stick with soccer?
Trump says a lot of things. Hopefully nobody's dreams are ever crushed by anything that he says.
I thought that was a charming moment, though, in its own way.
Well, and you know what? He's right. She's too short. Maybe she'll hit a growth spurt, but she is too short. But you know what? The magic of that man was on full display with those children yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Biden couldn't have done that. Barack Obama wouldn't have done that. Bill Clinton would have looked at him differently, and you know what I mean. This guy, he was right on point and then took them out to the yard and gave them a golf lesson with one of the all-time greats in Gary Player. I mean, come on. It's just a magical moment. All right, John, we'll let you go. John Hayward, Breitbart.com, the author of Dr. Zero, Year One, and he's always here on Wednesdays. I want to tell you about my friends over at Texas Rhino Shield. Your home is going to look fantastic, but beyond looking fantastic, it's going to be protected. Now, when you log on to get your free, no-obligation estimate and quote from Texas Rhino Shield, mention Trey Ware, and they'll take $2,500 off your project. They'll come out, they look at every nook and cranny of your home, then they come up with a price for you, and they leave you with the color wheel. And, man, it's overwhelming how many colors they have available to paint your home. And they can do multiple colors. They did it for our home just a few months ago. And the cool thing is it's 9 times thicker than paint. So you don't have to worry about it fading or cracking or chipping or peeling away. It doesn't do any of that. Not like paint does. It's just a few short years here in South Texas under this South Texas sun every summer. Your paint is already degrading every single year, every day. And so you want to make sure you got a coating on there that you can trust for the long haul. In fact, it's warranted for 25 years, and I got the warranty in hand for the warehouse, and I'm done. As long as we're in that house, we won't have to worry about painting it ever again. And I loved working with the Rhino Shield guys. It's a turnkey project. They do everything. If a repair needs to be done, okay. Cleaning the house, absolutely. That's where they start. They do it all at Texas Rhino Shield. Get the beauty and the protection for your home from TexasRhinoShield.com. Sun and a few clouds around, a thunderstorm possible later on today with a high of 84. Much cooler tomorrow, only 70 for the high. Right now, 75 at KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a couple of trouble spots. This report sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. Ritterman at Gibbs Sprawl. That's a stalled 18-wheeler with 3 lanes blocked. On 410 on the frontage road southbound at Old Pearsall Road, that stall is taking up a right lane. Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories to keep your ride summer road trip ready. You'll find everything for pre-trip maintenance and essentials like emergency roadside kits. Shop summitracing.com and enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
I'm Matt with Mr. Electric. If your lights flicker or breakers trip, your home's saying, hey, something's up.
Ignoring that message could mean trouble ahead.
Let our experts take a look at your system.
Call Mr. Electric at 210-248-2026 or visit MrElectric.com and enter your zip code.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install up to 3 tons for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomber from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
You've worked your whole life to build that wealth. Have you protected it from lawsuits, probate, and predators? Voller Law Firm specializes in preserving family wealth for generations. Call 210-338-6983 or go online, vollerlaw.com. Tell them Joe Pag sent you to the Voller Law Firm.
I get to talk to you about Southwest Metal Roofing Systems, and again, a company I know, I trust. They're the ones I had put on my roof probably 25 years back. Still absolutely beautiful, never had one single problem with it. Called them back and said, hey, would you consider putting a roof on my barn? So this past year, several thousand square feet of roof on my barn. They do all kinds of homes, businesses, outbuildings, and the material they use is true lifetime quality. It's a Galvalume type material, and it simply doesn't rust out or go bad. My roof looks as good as the day they installed it. It truly is a lifetime roof. They give you the best guarantee in the industry. Most insurance companies will give you a discount on your homeowner's insurance. I just love Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. They do the job. They're prompt. They clean up after themselves, and you will truly get the best roof in the industry. Give them a call, 210-822-6868. It's 210-822-6868 for Southwest Metal Roofing Systems.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Ponderosa Ranch, your pup is our priority. Boarding, training, daycare, and bathing, we treat your dog like family. With 3 area locations, Ponderosa Ranch can't wait to be your pup's home away from home. Book their next day or stay with us at weloveyourdog.net.
I'm James, owner of Patriot Dryer Vent Cleaning. Lead buildup in your dryer can cause a dangerous house fire. Annual cleaning is a must. So schedule your appointment with Patriot Dryer Vent Cleaning at cleanmydryervent.org. That's cleanmydryervent.org. We're veteran-owned, veteran-proud, with veteran standards.
If you're thinking of dental implants, have you ever called a dental implant center and asked for a price? A lot of them will offer a free consultation, but that often turns into a sales pitch. Most patients spend more time with the finance department than the doctor, and you're not buying a car, you just want to feel better. At River City Oral Surgery, they do things differently. They believe in health care built on trust, respect, and real patient care by a board-certified oral surgeon and medical doctor who lives here in our community. River City is not part of a corporate chain. There are no sales goals or quotas, no finance department. They even give their prices online at rivercityoms.com or over the phone. The goal is simple: to help patients achieve a healthier, natural, more confident smile. So if you're considering dental implants, you can trust River City Oral Surgery online at rivercityoms.com or 210-778-0002. For a local doctor you can trust River City Oral Surgery.
When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A lot of that going around these days.
Oh man, it's he recorded that a long time ago, but man, was he ever timely on that? And he's facing some troubles right now. A lawsuit from a.
Oh, is he?
Oh man,
Steve Tyler.
Oh yeah, there's a story in Breitbart today from John Nolte.
Oh, really?
And he's talking about how this girl, when she was 16 in the 1970s, he was 26. And,
yeah, I did see something about
she
that.
might have been a teen bride, and he was dragging her around the country and all this.
Right.
Well, the lawsuit went away years ago, the first time she sued him. The lawsuit is back on some different terms, and he wrote about it in his biography.
Didn't her mother approve of their relationship?
The parents signed her over to him
that's right.
so they could travel across the country together. Because he went and stayed in their home for about a month or so. He was 26. So anyway, it's back. The lawsuit is back, so we'll see what happens.
We shall see. I kind of checked out on Aerosmith like in 1986, I think. That's about right. But anyway. We're talking about the kids in the Oval Office yesterday, and I was just being funny about the little girl who said she wanted to play volleyball, and Trump kind of went back and forth with her. Well, maybe you should stick with soccer. He is really charming with kids. And I thought it was a great event, having the kids there. I mean, it was kind of funny when he's talking about blowing ships out of the sea and stuff, talking about Iran. He's got a little girl standing right next to him, and we just obliterated them. But by and large, he's very charming and sweet when he's around kids. And I had this thought yesterday. When's the last time you saw a Democrat, anybody, seem like they were comfortable around kids? They seem to have a real issue being around kids. Holidays come around. If you're talking about Joe Biden and Democrats in power in the executive branch, they can't pull off an Easter egg roll without, as you point out, half-naked trannies hopping all over the place. Christmas time, largely a kid's holiday for some people, especially from the White House perspective. And again, you've got trannies and queers hopping all over the place. These are the people that want to transition kids as young as 3, 1 or 2 or 3 years of age. Democrats in general just seem to be really uncomfortable around kids one way or the other. You look at what's going on in the education system where, as young as elementary school, we've seen example after example where they're trying to indoctrinate them with their grown-ass adult politics. Democrats just seem to not be comfortable around kids, and they want to make them adults like really, really quickly. And I just, that thought popped into my head yesterday when I was watching the president kind of interacting with all these kids. I mean, he doesn't talk down to kids, but he connects with them. It's really kind of interesting to watch. He's a grandfather. You can see it.
And he respects them.
He does.
And see, that's the difference between him and what most politicians do.
I want to go out and watch these great athletes. I'm not talking about him and him and him. I'm talking about these kids because I think you're going to be far better as an athlete than anybody behind you. Okay? Do you agree?
The world's greatest athletes are standing behind him, and he's telling the kids, you're going to be better.
You're going to be a better athlete. What sport do you play?
I play football.
Oh, there you go. Do you think you're going to be better than him? You'll be faster. You're going to be so much faster than him. He's going to be like lightning. He was known for his speed, by the way. I don't know. I think pretty good. What sport do you play?
I don't play sport because my mom didn't sign me up, but I'm trying to play gymnastics.
He leans in to hear. Now listen to it.
Wow. That's a good sport. It's a great sport. What do you play?
I do dance, but I also do volleyball.
Oh, nice. Hey, nice and tall to be a volleyball player. Amazing. What about you?
And then he turns to the short girl and says, what he said, just joking around. But he just interacted with him very, very well.
I love the kid. You think he can take me in a fight? Remember the kid he asked that?
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
You think you could take me?
Yeah. I mean, it was a really charming moment. And again, the contrast between watching the Trump folks interact with kids. You mentioned Biden earlier. Biden would want to hop in the shower with the kid. I mean, the Democrats just in general.
Let's explain that.
Well, I'm being funny. Yeah.
His daughter wrote in her book
right.
that she would have to shower after he went to bed because he would come jump in the shower with her, even when she was beginning to mature.
Did Trump shove one of the bigger kids when he was teaching the Trump dance, sort of shove him like, hey, come on, guy.
That's hilarious.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he was
pretty
just
much
horsing around.
Yeah. Gary Player was there, and everybody knows what I say everybody. He's 90 years old, but he was just the standard when it came to golf. Right, Jimmy? He was the standard when it came to golf. Everybody said you ought to play like Player. Right?
He's 80s?
90.
He's in better shape than all of us, Sean.
It's amazing.
At 90.
And this is what he said yesterday.
Thank you very much for having us and hosting this today. I've been around almost every president for the last 65 years. And I've never seen a president that loves this country as much. They all did. And they all did great works. But I've never seen a president that loves the country as much as you do. And I say thank you. Because I've traveled more miles than any human being before without being repetitive. And I've never seen a country like this. The freedom that exists, which is so important to all of us. And sport can change the world. It can give people a chance that don't have any hope. It can give them hope, as we've seen. Many people with little education have become world champions. Only in America have you got that opportunity.
He's just, phenomenal. And, of course, we know that he loves the country because nobody would have gone through what he went through the last 4 years and still decided that he wants this job. I'm talking about all the arrests and all the court trials.
Right.
I'm talking about the breaking in of his house. I'm talking about the shootings now.
Right. I was thinking about the golf guy.
No. Because Gary Player said I've never seen a president love this country as much as you do.
Right.
And Trump obviously loves the country that much because of everything he's been through.
Yeah, why would you go through all that if you didn't two things, if you didn't genuinely love the place you're presiding over, and if you genuinely didn't believe that you have a mission. Because he has a mission, I believe.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
And let's just take Obama for a second. That's the difference between Trump and Obama. I said the whole time Obama was in office, you can't lead what you don't love. And Obama made it abundantly clear he didn't love this country. And he still makes it clear.
And being the president, what he saw as an opportunity.
Oh, for him.
For himself, rather than, something that he felt compelled to do.
More Ware and Rima coming up, KTSA.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exoderm for eczema and dermatitis. Exoderm costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean, hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exoderm, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Eczederm Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Eczederm for eczema. Now that's smart.
When the job has to get done, your equipment can't let you down. That's why choosing the right Kubota dealer matters after the sale. At Ewald Kubota, you can rely on fast repairs by expert technicians using genuine Kubota parts. And if your machine does need major repairs, we have rentals to keep you working. For all your equipment needs, come to the dealer you've trusted for over 75 years. Kubota equipment is built to last, but great service keeps it running. Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Hey, this is Richard at Pride Floors. Are you tired of your old dingy floors and carpet? Come see the latest hardwood and luxury vinyl plank that will bring real beauty to your home. Near 1604 in Lock Hill, Soma, at Pride Floors, we take pride in our floors so you can take pride in your home.
Ben Adams Jewelers is going out of business after 56 years. Everything must go. Save up to 70% store-wide, plus take an extra 10% off. Prices have never been lower. Hurry in before it's too late.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 7 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. The Spurs back in action tonight, and they need a win against the T-Wolves at Frost Bank Center. We'll get a look at KTSA sports coming up in just a minute. President Trump is pausing Project Freedom, but he says it's not because of Iran's idea. The effort to escort stranded ships has failed in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump says it's all about trying to reach an agreement with Iran. Correspondent Lionel Moise.
Trump saying great progress has been made toward a complete and final agreement with representatives of Iran, but he did not elaborate. Meanwhile, gas prices are now up 50% since the war began.
It cost me over $75 to fill the car last week,
averaging $4.48 per gallon nationwide.
It makes a big dent in the profits.
San Antonio's average price for regular unleaded $4.07 yesterday at this time, but right now it's up to $4.14. One man's facing a murder charge after a body was found burning in an RV.
Deputies with the Medina County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene in the 200 block of Highway 173 on Thursday. After the flames were out, 70-year-old Jose Romeo Ibarra was found dead inside. It's unclear if he was dead before the fire started. Hondo police soon arrested 32-year-old Manuel Sanchez, who eventually was charged with murder, arson, and lesser charges related to the case. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
We're finding out the Secret Service shot a Texan near the Washington Monument on Monday. He's 45-year-old Michael Marks, and he was taken to the hospital after police say he fired a gun several times at plainclothed agents who were watching him. They say when Marks tried to run at first, he also fired at the agents, and they shot back. The suspect's current status is unknown. Time now for a look at KTSA Sports, sponsored by Connecticut Quality Water Systems. And here we go with Rob Thompson.
In the NBA, the playoffs went chalk last night. The Detroit Pistons handled the Cavaliers pretty easily, 111-101. Tobias Harris had 20. Duncan Robinson had 5 threes in the game. In the other, Oklahoma City, well, they took care of the Lakers yet again, 108-90. SGA had 18 points, which was his lowest point production since the Western Finals last year. Chet Holmgren had 24 points and 12 rebounds in the win. In Dallas Cowboys news, they're hosting veteran cornerback Adoree Jackson, free agent from the Eagles. He had 55 tackles and 1 interception last year. Cowboys appear to be in the market for an older cornerback. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and a look at KTSA AccuWeather next on 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Hello.
I didn't make it into medical school, Dad. I didn't have an A in all my subjects, so I can't get in.
What do you mean, all these years I supported you, all the money I poured into your education, you don't get all A's? What was your bad subject? Chemistry, physiology, what?
No, Dad, spelling.
Spelling?
Yeah.
What, was it some funny microorganisms you couldn't spell or what?
No, Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Yeah.
You mean the water conditioner that uses no electricity? Are you kidding? Everybody knows how to spell Connecticut.
Not me.
Everybody knows Connecticut is the water conditioning company that revolutionized the water industry.
Sorry, Dad.
Everybody knows that Connecticut is spelled Kinetico.
I thought the instructor said Connecticut.
Oh, son, you should have remembered kinetic as in kinetic energy with an O on the end. Connecticut. Connecticut. Spell it Kinetico.
Kinetico.
The last water softener you'll ever own. KineticoSA.com.
Trey Ware for Dr. Sally and everybody at Here in Texas. They'd love to see you, talk with you about your hearing, and possibly prescribe hearing aids for you to help you hear things you've never heard before. They really are amazing at Here, H-E-A-R, HereInTX.com.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Hi, Trey Ware here. If you have pain and limited movement, you're not able to do the things you love to do, but you're not interested in surgery to get better, then contact my friends at Evolve Medical Group. They do PRP, stem cell, hormone replacement, and so much more. They even do primary care at evolvemedgroup.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time, 7:04. Let's get a quick check of KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, still have that stalled 18-wheeler northeast side of town, Rittiman, westbound right at Gibbs Sprawl. 3 lanes still blocked. Heavy-duty wrecker is finally rolled up onto the scene. Still have police directing traffic. On Loop 410 frontage road, southbound Old Pearsall Road, southwest side, that stalls in the right lane. 35 northbound Judson Road. This road we're taking up 2 right lanes, now causing a solid 30-minute delay. Heavy back to Loop 410. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Still a little unsettled today as a front continues to clear the area after a cloudy start, a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a thunderstorm, a high of 83. Becoming cloudy tonight, cooler, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high of 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Mostly cloudy skies and 75 degrees at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Starting the 7 o'clock hour with the Babylon Bee. You know how I love their headlines on the Babylon Bee.
Right.
Disciples casually ask kid with fish and loaves if his mom would pack wings and nachos next time. I love the Babylon Bee.
Wow. That's funny.
And Marco Rubio took Caroline Leavitt's job. I hope she still has a job after yesterday because, you know, the secretary of everything. He may be the guy. Here he is explaining Iran.
Look, he's heartbroken by these images. You think about it. You're an Iranian, okay? You're unhappy that your economy doesn't work for you. You don't have freedom. You don't have an opportunity to express yourself. You know, you've got friends that have been shot in the head because they're out protesting. And it's heartbreaking to him to see that these people are abused in this way and have no measures to take against their own government as a result of it. By the way, this goes back, if you guys remember the protests in 2009 where they slaughtered people in the street. This is a vicious regime, guys. Okay? These are people that hang people from cranes in the town square so everyone can see. They continue these executions of people and have continue to do so for over a decade and a half now. And so I think what the president is expressing is the desire that he wishes the Iranian people had an ability to fight back against some of these things that are happening to them. And I would view that as distinct and separate from the specifics of this operation that was ongoing before it concluded, and certainly different from the operation that's going on now.
He talked a lot yesterday about the differences between the regime and the people. And he alluded to, he didn't say it directly, but alluded to, this is what you get when you have a regime that installs themselves through violence and not through elections because they're unaccountable to the people. He talked about the divide between the regime, how different it is from the people and the people that live there. And the people, we're not at war with the people. The people actually are at war with their own regime. The regime is killing their own people.
Right. Oh, I thought you were going to play something.
No. Yeah.
Well, he made a very distinct case that we're talking about the regime and not the people. The idea is that, and we've talked about this over the past couple of days, about giving them guns so that they have weapons to fight these people.
Now I'm going to play something.
Okay.
Because you just gave me the perfect intro for it. Here's the president.
You said recently that if Iranians were armed, they could take over their regime. Do you plan to arm them soon?
Well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, I mean, people say, why aren't they protesting? They want to protest, but they don't have any guns. So you could have 200,000 people protesting and have 5 or 6 sick people with guns. And when they start shooting them right between the eyes, and you see a guy fall and another one fall, and you have no guns, very few people would be able to stand there and do it. I mean, I understand it. I tell them not to. Don't forget, they killed 42,000 people last month. 42,000 unarmed protesters. They had no guns. So they had a 250,000 people crowd, and they had snipers. They had like 4 or 5 snipers in buildings up high. And you're standing there, and all of a sudden the guy on your left goes down, and somebody. That's what happened with the women protest. They had 200,000 women protesting a year ago, and everyone thought that was the end of Iran. And then all of a sudden, a woman dropped dead with a bullet right there, always right there. Then another woman dropped, and then the word started to spread, and then there was panic, and then they ran, and so I don't want that to happen.
Again, first of all, that's a reinforcement of the Second Amendment message here for us. Do not ever let the Democrats get back in power, because they have already told you they are going to gut the Second Amendment and take your guns away. And this is why. If they take your guns away, they can control you, as we see the regime in Iran doing. If the Democrats get back in power, the Second Amendment is over. But, I mean, he's exactly right. And, again, on the messaging, that's what he needs to be on Rogan doing. He needs to be saying that, that very thing right there.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I want to just circle back around to something Rubio said in the audio there. And folks who are critical of this war and this operation picked up on that real quick, and that he said military operations basically have been concluded. And he was talking at length about the success of the military operation. He said they have no Navy. Didn't he use the term Boston whalers? They're coming up to us in these tiny little boats that look like Boston whalers. And I think that's a very good case to make, that, the military operation, from our perspective, really has been very, very successful. Again, going back to what we discussed in the first hour, I think you got to repeatedly make the argument, though, that, it's hurting at the gas pump right now. But imagine how much worse it would be if Iran had a nuclear weapon. I don't know that the argument that they could strike us or that we're protecting the homeland is as solid an argument as saying, hey, imagine, which he did say, Iran with a nuke, running the Strait of Hormuz. There's nothing we could do about it if they had a nuke. So if they wanted to charge you $8 or $9 a barrel or a gallon, they could do it. I think that's a very effective message to come out of the White House.
And I wish they would charge us $8 or $9 a barrel. That would be awesome. I wish they would charge us $8 or $9 a barrel. That would be awesome. So this is what he said concerning an international law about the Strait of Hormuz.
Just about the importance of the Straits for a moment. This is approximately a quarter of the world's oil trade, along with significant volumes of fuel and fertilizer that operate through the Straits of Hormuz. The Iranian regime cannot be allowed to dictate who uses this vital waterway. I don't think this is also being reported enough. Maybe you are reporting. I don't read everyone. I don't know many damn outlets here. I don't know who you all are, but
so many damn outlets. I don't know who you are.
Some of you are, but I don't know all of you are. But I will say this about it. This is an international waterway. Okay, this is an international waterway, and international law is very clear. And I love it because everybody always talks about international law, and this international law on this is very clear. International waterways, no country can control them. There is no international law that allows you to say, I'm going to put mines in an international body of water and I'm going to blow up ships that don't listen to us and try to go through. That's what Iran is doing. This is a criminal act. And someone needs to do something about it. Something needs to be done. It's completely illegal, completely illegitimate, and completely unacceptable.
And again, going on the podcasters and saying that message over and over again. But I do, again, I'm beating a dead horse. We got new listeners every 3 minutes. I fully believe we need to have some sort of international law, a body that says no country can control, like he says, like Marco Rubio just said, can control an important piece of water like they've been doing. Because, again, like he pointed out and like you're pointing out this morning, if they had a nuke, they'd shut down the strait and he couldn't do anything about it. This should be every country on planet Earth should be allied against Iran for shutting down the strait, because it's 25% of the world's oil. And we're talking about Japan, we're talking about China, we're talking about all these other European countries that will not lift a finger to help us. The rest of them should be right there with us saying, you keep this open. And that should be the case for any international body of water.
Well, logically, I agree. I mean, logically, you're right. Logically, the rest of the world should be paying very close attention to a bunch of crazy zealots operating, basically one of the biggest oil spigots on the globe. Certainly, I agree. But normally, though, we start talking about international bodies. Don't we get kind of weird about that? We're not big fans of NATO. We're not big fans of the United Nations.
No, and I'm not talking about a body like that.
Right.
Please don't misunderstand. He said they're going to the United Nations.
Right.
He also said that the War Powers Act is unconstitutional. I'll play that a little bit later on. No, what I'm talking about when I say international body, I'm talking about like the Geneva Convention. Okay.
Right.
We assent, because the Geneva Convention and a couple of others, we assent that certain things cannot be done in war.
Right.
We don't attack civilians. No nation on earth is allowed to attack, out and out, kill women and children and civilians during a time of war. Chemical warfare, mustard gases and things like that have been outlawed by these international bodies. Now, you still have rogue nations.
Yeah, we still do both.
Yes, there are still rogue nations that will do this, but when that happens, at least you have a consensus of these countries saying you're in violation of the Geneva Convention and we're going to hold you accountable. That's what I think these waterways should be.
I agree. I mean, I agree absolutely that these waterways should be, the international community should be like, hey, hands off. Unfortunately, I think you have the politics of energy that comes into play, and energy is a great leverage tool against people you don't like. So I agree. I wish we could get to a consensus like that internationally. I don't know if it's going to happen. You'd think after going through all of this with Iran, that would come about.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe it will.
Now's the time
know.
to convene it, right?
Right.
And to get it done now while it's hot. You probably remember this as well because you're only a few years younger than me, but I remember the 73 OPEC stuff that they pulled on us on gasoline, on oil, and the prices that we paid and the long lines that we sat in to get gas for our vehicles. It was absolutely absurd what they did to us. And Iran's trying, and has always held the Strait of Hormuz over our heads this way, and the international body should say, you're not going to do that again. It's a war crime. That is an act of war if you shut this down.
Or a crime against humanity because, hey, we need energy.
Exactly.
Human beings need it.
And we need clean bathrooms, and we need a new bathroom. And if you need that, New Bath Today is ready for you as well. It used to be Safe Showers and Bath Wise, but they've all combined now to be New Bath Today. Why? Because they still build you a beautiful, safe shower. And I do mean the safest shower that you can get, the most beautiful shower that you can get. But now they'll do a complete and total bathroom remodeling project for you. That includes the flooring, that includes vanities, that includes counter spaces and sinks, that includes new mirrors and lighting. They can do all of that, or just whatever it is you want done. You want a piecemeal? You just want to do a shower and maybe a new vanity? Cool, they can handle that for you. Whatever it is when it comes to remodeling your bathroom so you get a safer, space for you to bathe in, a shower in, and to get ready in. You also get a more beautiful place. So it adds to the value and the resale value of your home. And, of course, the livability. So, you don't look at selling your home. You plan on living there to the end. That's fine, but you want a place in your bathroom that's going to be extremely nice and beautiful and safe for you. New Bath Today, and mention Trey Ware, and you get $1,500 off your new shower and low monthly payments. Invite them on out to the house, and they'll give you a free, no-obligation in-home quote from New Bath Today. Just check them out online, newbathtoday.com. Sun and clouds and a thunderstorm possible today. High near 84. Cooler tomorrow, right around 70. It's 75 now, KTSA.
The Jack Show.
It's amazing. We have just similar tastes.
This afternoon at 3.
He's an incredible guy and a good guy.
On News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When was the last time you had a real financial checkup? Not a quick chat, not a sales pitch, an honest, personal review of where you stand and where you're headed. When you schedule a free financial checkup with us, you sit down with me personally, not a salesperson, not a high-volume call center. I personally walk you through your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return, because your financial life isn't a one-size-fits-all. We actively manage your assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. And we build comprehensive financial plans designed for you, your goals, your family, and your future. Give us a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057 or visit creatingricherlives.com.
Investment management services offered by Cap Trust, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Our current disclosures are available on creatingricherlives.com.
In a world where technology fails us daily.
Neil, what are you doing?
I'm doing a dramatic movie trailer voice. Because let's face it, what we do at Bjorn's is epic.
Okay, he's not wrong. We've designed home theaters so immersive, they've made grown men cry.
Sound system's so good, the neighbors started dancing without an invite.
And smart homes so intuitive, it's like they read your mind, or at least your schedule.
Whether it's lighting that welcomes you home or one-button movie nights, we make it effortless.
This isn't just technology, it's life-changing comfort and entertainment that actually works.
And looks incredible doing it.
Stop imagining the dream setup and start living it.
Come to our showroom on 281, one walkthrough, and you'll be hooked.
And we'll help you design your own personalized wow factor experience.
Because if it's technology,
it's at Bjorn's. Just Bjorn's.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
And it's 7:20 with Ware and Rima.
You know, we were talking a few days ago about Ann Arbor and how they pulled out all of the neighborhood watch signs because it'll make basically black people feel bad, or maybe Muslims or whomever, you know, people who don't look like us, Trey. Honkies like us. Okay, neighborhood watch signs make non-honkies feel bad and weird, and so we have to take them all down. Fox has been all over this morning. I saw this story last night where you have in Seattle, the mayor, Katie Wilson, was fighting these CCTV cameras all over town, which are in high crime areas where you have video going, because obviously when people commit crimes, you want to see, you know, who they are. Now, if people who have argued against that sort of thing in the past usually go at it from a privacy standpoint, but you don't have any privacy in public in that sense. She's gone at it, though, from the idea, like in Ann Arbor, that, well, having all these cameras around makes migrants feel weird and unwelcome and people of color. And, you know, it's so she's fought this idea, or the funding for these things. I think they're leaving the ones they have in place, but she doesn't want any new ones or something of that nature. Well, you probably saw the video of the older guy walking through a neighborhood in Seattle, 77-year-old man, set upon by two dudes, young guys. I mean, this crap is getting really feral, and it's random that we see things like this all the time in this country. It's a very disturbing trend where they just beat the guy up. They just stomp him, basically. And because of the cameras, they were able to catch one of the guys who has a very Muslim-y sounding name. He's 29 years of age. The other guy is still at large, but obviously, if you didn't have a camera on that particular street when this happened, okay, you would never catch those guys. I mean, you would never they would just be able to stomp people and attack people at random and at will, and nothing would happen to them. But this idea that you shouldn't protect people with some pretty basic common sense. Remember when all the anti-Semitic stuff was going on the college campuses? You would hear that crap then, that the cameras, are making Muslim students feel weird or unwelcome or what have you. Okay, listening to Democrats argue against common sense security and protection stuff with this argument that it makes people feel bad and unwelcome is so freaking nauseating. You know what, Mayor Wilson? Okay, your mom or your dad didn't get beaten up on the streets by a couple of punks like that. I bet you'd want those cameras on them then, wouldn't you?
The problem with her, these are her constituents that are caught on camera beating people, and she doesn't want her constituents to be arrested.
Fair point.
Because then they can't vote for her. This is the problem, though. We up in Dallas, we had a guy that was driving a car and he was crashing into other cars.
Right.
Ended up going to a service station and tried to carjack a few cars, didn't get it done, ran across the street into a shopping center parking lot, tried to yank a guy out of the car, except the guy was a father and he had his kids in the car. He pulled a gun and capped the bad guy, shot the bad guy over 10 rounds, killed the bad guy, the guy who was trying to carjack him. Now, why is a camera important in that case? Because you can clearly see what happened. This guy came up and tried to carjack a daddy who had kids in the car.
I saw it.
Yeah, you're going to get your butt shot if you do that. But it was all caught on camera.
It's the same reason they fight against the cop cams, the uniform cameras.
Talked about that yesterday.
Look, it's protective. It protects the police legally. Here's exactly what happened. I wish we'd have had one on the uniform of the guy in Minneapolis a few months ago. We'd have known exactly. We had exact footage of what happened.
Was holding his phone.
He was holding his phone out, but he didn't have a uniform camera.
No, but look, I talked about that yesterday because now there's a leftist movement to have the cams taken off of cops.
Yeah.
Because here's why. Their problem with it, they can't control the narrative anymore. What would happen is one of these leftists would attack a cop, and a cop would fight back. Then they'd go to ABC, and ABC would say, "What a cop, the cop got after this guy."
Right.
Now the cop just shows the cam and goes, "No, he attacked me."
Well, we're seeing it at just roadside stops where somebody claims they were profiled or they were, talked to in a certain way or abused by a police officer. It's like, nope, here's the camera footage. This is exactly what happened.
The hottest selling item right now anywhere are dash cams for everyday consumers.
Oh, right.
And the hottest new one, and it's a shame that we live in a society that's like this, but the Democrats put us in this position. You can take that camera off of your windshield, and then it becomes a body cam. You can hang it on your body.
Wow.
You can get it at Costco all day long for $99. People are using these things because they're getting run into, for lawsuit purposes, or they're getting attacked or whatever. Somebody runs a red light and hits them, and then they say, "Oh no, that guy ran the red light." No, look, you can see my camera from my car.
My footage would be really boring, Trey. Here's some footage of Sean going to the Circle K for the third time today in his neighborhood. Now he's on his way to the H-E-B. But point being, it offers protection for people if you're just a citizen and you want to make sure if somebody hits you, you got a record of it. Certainly for police, though. Certainly for ICE. I'm sorry, nice.
Nice.
It's good to have.
Well, and I would say this too. Let me just toss in another plug for the Second Amendment, because no telling what would have happened to that daddy and particularly his kiddos who were in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Had he not been armed, and he's licensed to carry and the whole nine. No telling what would, and we have the Castle Doctrine, which extends beyond your home. You have a right to defend yourself. No telling what would have happened to him and those kids had he not been armed. Again, the Democrats have said, you put us back in power, we're gutting the Second Amendment. So that daddy, if the Democrats were running the show, that daddy would not have had a gun to be able to protect those kids.
Well, once again, they're taking the side of the bad guys. That seems to be what they do on a routine basis, is take the side of the bad guys, whichever bad guy is in the room at the moment. Whether it's an illegal, God, I was reading more stories about they busted about 250 sex offenders, predators, child rapers. Kash Patel was talking about that. You read what these people are capable of doing.
It was 300 sex offenders,
Right.
200 children.
200 kids rescued.
That were victims of these people, and that's exactly right. The Biden administration did not lift a finger to help these kids.
Many of these
out.
people the kids were lost. They didn't know where the kids went, and they let the people out. The people they knew were bad people, were predators, and they let them back out on the streets.
That's right. Let me tell you about my friends over at Own Well. We are rapidly approaching the 15th of this month. Today is the 6th. When we get to the 15th, the window's going to close for you to sign up to protest your property taxes. And I can tell you, if you're not protesting your property taxes, you're paying too much. Look, these counties are not fair. There is no taxing entity that is. They're going to charge you as much as they can get away with. And that's why companies like Own Well exist. Now, Own Well is the best for any number of reasons. I discovered them years ago. We've been using them for several years with our home, our property, the Ware house. And they've saved us thousands of dollars we have been able to use on various projects, stuff for the kiddos, cars, and stuff like that, vacation. Just because we protested our property taxes using Own Well at ownwell.com. And they have helped out so many people in our area. The average when you first get started somewhere around $750, $800, something like that they can help you save. But, I had a guy contact me just a few weeks ago. $2,200 is what they saved him. Imagine what an extra $2,200 in your pocket would do for you. So don't let the deadline hit you up beside the head. It's May 15th is the deadline, so it'll be here in a couple of weeks. So log on today, ownwell.com. It takes 3 minutes to sign up, and that's all you have to do. They do everything else, ownwell.com. Mention my name, Trey Ware, when you do at ownwell.com.
Ware and Rima, on air and online every morning.
And actually, they become hot as a pistol, so what can I tell you?
Watch the show weekday mornings 6 till 10, only on KTSA.com.
Hey, it's Sean. I tell you all about my portfolio manager at Trajan Wealth, helping my wife and I put together a retirement plan. We didn't really have much of a plan up till this point. We've been working with Trajan now for, I guess, about a year. I actually messaged my portfolio manager yesterday. I got some questions about an old 401k and some money that's lying there in that account and how I can kind of bring that over to some of the things that we're doing with Trajan as far as investment. I trust her advice. I'm not a financial guy, so sometimes I ask what I think are stupid questions, but no question is stupid to Blair over at Trajan Wealth. They are fiduciaries. They always put my needs first. So when I make more money, they make more money. So I trust her advice, even when it's something simple that, I'm just not a financial guy, so I just need someone to tell me what to do. And I appreciate their candor. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. I'm an actual client. This is a paid advertisement, and additional disclosures are available at TrajanWealth.com. But give them a call and set up a complimentary consultation and get that financial plan going right now. 210-201-7100 for Trajan Wealth, or check them out online again, TrajanWealth.com.
I have Texas Rhino Shield on my home. I love it, and I think you will too. Find out with a free in-home, no-obligation Texas Rhino Shield inspection. Find out if Rhino Shield is right for your home at TexasRhinoShield.com.
If your transmission is acting up, Access Transmission on Thousand Oaks is the only place you need to go to get it repaired or replaced. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Access Transmission has been the trusted transmission experts in the San Antonio area for over 50 years. Family owned and operated, Access Transmission can handle all your transmission needs, domestic and import. All estimates are free. There are no inspection or diagnostic fees like the big national chains. Shop local and take your vehicle to Access Access Transmission, where you can get a fair, honest, and free diagnosis of your transmission issue. They can repair or rebuild your transmission with their in-house rebuilders, serving San Antonio and the Hill Country. Access Transmission offers free pickup and delivery. And yes, that does include the Hill Country. Located on Thousand Oaks between Jones-Maltzberger and Wetmore Road, call Access Transmission, 210-490-4411, 490-4411. Access Transmission, the experts in transmission repair.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
Some are saying a deal to end the war between the U.S. and Iran might be close. Time will tell as President Trump pauses ship escort operations in the Strait of Hormuz. A number of Trump-backed candidates came up big last night in Indiana, and another one running for U.S. Senate in Texas is now pulling ahead. And it's game 2 between the Spurs and the T-Wolves tonight at Frost Bank Center. Minnesota leads the series 1-0 tip-off set for 8:30. KTSA News Time, 7:34.
Good morning. Got a new trouble spot downtown. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Got an accident reported 35 southbound St. Mary's. Camden center median is blocked. Rittman westbound at Gibbs Sprawl still have that stalled 18-wheeler taking up 2 right lanes. Now, there is a heavy-duty wrecker on scene, so hopefully that will clear soon. This road work 35 northbound Judson causing a 50-minute delay. 2 right lanes blocked, slow from Walsham. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
You may want to take your umbrella today. It'll be cloudy to start, then a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a thunderstorm. Warm and humid, the high of 83. Becoming cloudy and cooler tonight, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 76 degrees, mostly cloudy at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
7:35, we're Ware and Rima. You know what I like to do every day, every morning at this time? I like to take care of some business. Bachman Turner Overdrive. All right. So yesterday, President Trump had the kiddos at the White House because he put back into effect the president's national fitness test.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Something that Obama had gotten rid of. And you know, he was so destructive to this country, he got rid of the presidential fitness test. I remember it was a big deal when we were kids.
I remember, yeah. I never did it, but I remember. My wife did, actually. My wife was talking about it.
That's great. Oh, man. So he had those kids there yesterday, and they're, you know, all up in doing fitness stuff. Xavier Dillard is 22 years old. He lives in Virginia. He has been practicing now for 2 years doing pull-ups. I think, for me personally, because I've got injury in my shoulders and stuff like that, pull-ups are the most difficult thing. You ever done a pull-up?
Have I ever done one?
Yeah.
I have done one.
Yeah, okay.
In gym class, I did pull-ups.
Yeah,
I don't choose to do them on a regular basis like you may, but I have done a pull-up.
No, I can't do them, man. I really can't. He would work out 4 hours every day, 7 days a week for 2 years.
Wow.
Because he wanted to be the new Guinness world record holder, and he is.
Wow.
He went from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m., 24 hours, and he did 12,412 pull-ups in 24 hours.
Wow, man.
So the president, though, according to the Babylon Bee, the president has some new things to the presidential fitness test. He's added a few more.
Yes.
Okay. Like the presidential bullet dodging test.
Oh, God.
An essential life skill for the modern era, especially if you aspire to run for office as a Republican.
That's terrible.
The alternating YMCA double fist pump, The kids learned to exercise in the greatest dance that was ever invented, the Trumpy dance.
Oh, my God.
The Strait of Hormuz swim. Extra credit is given out for anyone who finds a mine while swimming in the Strait of Hormuz.
That's funny.
Number 4, he's added the Big Mac curl. One 7.6-ounce Big Mac in each hand, consuming them during the workout is a great source of protein. Next is the weighted thumb stretches. Having strong thumbs is vital both for thumbs-up photo ops and being quick to make sick burns and late-night social media posts later on in life.
Sick burns. Nice.
The other one is Catch the Immigrant. This ice-inspired...
Catch the Immigrant.
This ice-inspired exercise sees kids attempting to chase down and subdue delinquent MS-13 gang members.
That's funny.
Let's see here. Oh, another one is Wrestling RFK Jr. Each child will be required to survive 3 minutes in the ring with the Health and Human Services Secretary.
Wow.
Hitting the green with a 50-yard bunker shot. No greater test of physical and mental excellence. The Mitch McConnell deadlift.
That's bad. That's funny, but it's bad.
Don't worry, kids. He'll hold strangely still the entire time. And finally, mandatory winning. No failing allowed. Losers will be deported.
What about a speedboat?
What about?
Dodging.
Well, that's a good
dodging.
one too. Speedboat driving.
Speedboat driving, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who I did love, her and Trump are at loggerheads right now, and because she also was one of the European countries that said, "No, I'm not going to help you with the Strait of Hormuz," which was shocking to me because that's not her character.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah. So anyway, they've been going back and forth at each other, and she's not going to back down. He's not going to back down. So anyway, I don't know. We'll see where that ends up. But somebody posted a picture of her on the bed in some lingerie.
Oh, God.
And, yeah, and obviously it's a deep fake. It is not her. So she said, this is a deep fake, although they improved me quite a bit. Her body is not what it appears to be. In this lingerie deep fake,
really?
Yeah, they enhanced her in a couple of really, two places they enhanced her.
I have not seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, deep fakes are a big deal. Big problem.
Well, they are. One of the people that they were talking about now we talked about this guy before who had, made all of this kiddie porn using AI, and you can't do that.
No, you cannot.
You are still going to get arrested by the FBI if you create
that is correct.
Imagery that is still of children in those situations.
That's right.
Go
ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying maybe somebody could do an AI of me and kind of improve me a little too. Shave a few
maybe
pounds
a
off.
deep fake. Yeah.
Lift the breasts for me, just a smidge.
Well, they created new ones for her, and so
they did. Oh,
that's
God.
what I meant by
right.
Okay. The Obama Center.
It's so ugly. What now?
$500 million.
Yes, of course.
And they're not done. They're supposed to open it June 18th or thereabouts. They are selling now, to recoup some of this money, for $30 a piece, lapel pins of that ugly-looking tower. And it's white. So it just looks like a blob of crap that they have put together, and they're trying to sell these things online, right?
Right.
But here's what we found out about the tower. That's his idea.
Oh, he came up with the design?
He wanted the Death Star, and he told the architects, or a team of architects that kept coming back with buildings that look like buildings. And he said, no, that's not good enough, people. That's not good enough. I want something that shows a bold design and brave global leadership because that's me. That's what he told the architects.
I saw, it's interesting because when I heard about that story, I was having the thought, when you look at it, it looks like something you'd see out of a science fiction movie.
The Death Star.
It looks like some sort of alien craft that would be landing to take over the world.
Well, he said he wanted it right out of Star Wars. So,
oh, God.
Come up with, and listen to this.
Happy Star Wars Day from the Obama Presidential Center.
I have a very good feeling about this.
Mark, I am glad you are here. I want to tell you about someone.
Okay.
A young person born into ordinary circumstances, but restless, unsatisfied. A kid with big dreams, a bit of a rebel.
I like where this is going.
They join a scrappy group of underdogs and set out to change things.
By blowing up a giant space laser?
Mark, this is not about you.
It's about me, Mark.
As wonderful as you are, this is about them. This
About
isn't
me.
a monument to my legacy. It's a gateway to yours. The Obama Presidential Center is much more than a museum. It is an entire campus built to empower you. A place to come together, get inspired, and become a force for change. See what I did there?
Strong the dad jokes are.
Oh. That's perfect.
Ooh.
Sure it is.
Do they not realize how cringy that was?
It's awful.
It's so cringy, man.
It's on the X count if you want to go over there and check it out. It is absolutely awful.
Ugh.
But he's awful.
Well, I mean, they just think they're so freaking adorable. Both he and Hamill think they're just the most adorable people in the world. Look how adorable and charming we're being. And I almost barfed up my Hot Pocket watching that the first time.
It's awful.
It's bad.
Oh, you saw it before then?
I've seen it before I heard the audio. Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
it's just it's so obnoxious.
Well,
it's beyond obnoxious.
Yeah. Okay, May 17th, coming up, the National Mall. It's Rededicate 250. It's prayer, it's praise, it's Thanksgiving. Rededicate our country as one nation to God. And that idea came from Donald John Trump.
Good.
All right, it's Wednesday. It is May 6th. I want to tell you about my friends over at Evolve Medical Center. At Evolve Medical Center, you get to looking and feeling your absolute best. You've never felt like this before. Evolve Medical Group is here to help you. If you have consistent pain, if you have limited movement, if you're not able to do the things that you always wanted to do, talk with Rodney and the crew at Evolve Medical Group. They have locations all over town now. New ones opening up all the time. In fact, they have one coming to the south side very, very soon. Can't wait to tell you about that. Their most recent one is over here on Pat Booker Road, northeast side of San Antonio. Evolve Medical Group, they do PRP, they do stem cells, they do hormone replacement therapy for men and women, and it's a great thing that they do because they constantly monitor you to make sure that you're on track. They also do primary care with 24-hour teledoc services with Evolve Medical Group, ready to help you restore your quality of life. And that's what it's about, right? Having a great quality of life, helping you feel and look your absolute best. That's what they can do. Weight loss with or without the GLP-1 medications. They do skin rejuvenation and so much more for your overall health at Evolve Medical Group. Log on today and mention Trey Ware on their website. That's where I go, and they're doing great things for me, and I just want you to give them a shot as well. That's evolvemedgroup.com. AccuWeather, sun and clouds. A thunderstorm is possible, high of 84. Cooler tomorrow, about 70 for the high. 75 now, KTSA.
Good morning. Got a new trouble spot downtown. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Got an accident reported 35 southbound St. Mary's. Camden center median is blocked. Rittman westbound at Gibbs Sprawl still have that stalled 18-wheeler taking up 2 right lanes. Now, there is a heavy-duty wrecker on scene, so hopefully that will clear soon. This road work 35 northbound Judson causing a 50-minute delay. 2 right lanes blocked, slow from Walsham. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When was the last time you had a real financial checkup? Not a quick chat, not a sales pitch, an honest, personal review of where you stand and where you're headed. When you schedule a free financial checkup with us, you sit down with me personally. Not a salesperson, not a high-volume call center. I personally walk you through your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return, because your financial life isn't a one-size-fits-all. We actively manage your assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. And we build comprehensive financial plans designed for you, your goals, your family, and your future. Give us a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057 or visit creatingricherlives.com.
Investment management services offered by Cap Trust, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Our current disclosures are available on creatingricherlives.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Now more than ever, Texas energy security is national security. That's why Governor Greg Abbott has endorsed Jim Wright's re-election to Railroad Commissioner. Jim Wright understands how important Texas energy is to make sure we keep America first. Jim Wright is focused on making sure hostile foreign nations can never have direct ownership or indirect influence on Texas energy. And he's not stopping there. Jim Wright will keep radical militant Islamists out of Texas energy, protecting our infrastructure and our future. Look at Jim Wright's results. Record oil revenues topping $6 billion, fueling our economy and supporting record state surpluses. Jim Wright knows energy independence is national security, keeping Texas strong and America secure. He'll always stand firm for Texas. Jim Wright, protecting Texas energy, securing America's future. Re-elect Jim Wright for Railroad Commissioner. Election Day is May 26th. Political ad paid for by Texas Now PAC.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit southwestexteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
All right, so 7:50, we're Ware and Rima, KTSA.
One thing that happened on Monday I want to pick up on in reference to a story that was being reported yesterday. A little background first. I just discovered Dr. Jordan Peterson like within the past year or so.
Oh, is that right?
Who I find him to be a fascinating guy. He's a psychologist, and an author, and kind of a life coach kind of a guy. He's having issues with an anti-anxiety med right now that causes neurological pain. He had kidney cancer at some point, and he was put on this stuff. It's called Klonopin. I get temporary prescriptions for stuff called Ativan when I'm dealing with depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And this stuff is pretty powerful stuff. And I was thinking about RFK Jr., who, as part of the Make America Healthy Again, is talking about antidepressants and how he wants, not to get people off antidepressants. There's a lot of people who benefit from them. I've had kind of a dicey experience with these kinds of medications over the years, going all the way back to Prozac. I've talked to you about that before. But the push is, first off, to get additional consent involved before you prescribe this stuff for somebody. They are very powerful drugs, whether you're talking about psychotropics or anti-anxiety meds. And RFK Jr. is also going to be pushing for more things like holistic treatments, exercise, diet, which we know plays a huge role in depression and stuff like that. I'm basically supporting RFK Jr. in this idea of getting the people who don't need to be on antidepressants off them. Starting in the early 90s, really, with the era of Prozac, all the way to where we are now, as far as depression and clinical depression and anxiety and things of that nature, it's so prevalent to just put somebody on a pill. Just get them on a medication. Get them on a pill. And I'm the first one to say, if I could take a pill and never deal with depression again, I'd want to take that freaking pill. But the side effects, like Dr. Peterson is finding out, of some of this stuff is pretty intense and ends up becoming its own problem. You've talked about before, we've talked about on this show, about how a lot of antidepressants now require additional drugs, prescription drugs, to deal with the side effects. And a lot of it's big pharma also, and wanting to get people on meds, for the rest of their life. I get all that. So I applaud RFK Jr. for, taking this one on, because it's a pretty sensitive subject for a lot of people. And I think there is a proclivity to just prescribe. We all want our trouble and pain to go away with a pill. And unfortunately, the solutions for a lot of this stuff very often are a lot more complex and multi-layered than merely being on a prescription. And I'm the first one who can tell you that from my own experiences.
What we found out is that SSRIs, for as good as they thought they were going to be, exercise is as good and even better for a lot of people.
Right.
And SSRIs come with a boatload of problems. Number one is when you first start taking them, they increase the risk of suicide. They don't lower the risk of suicide. They increase the ideation of suicide. SSRIs do.
I've experienced it.
Well, okay, there you go. So the problem is what we became over the past 30 years is doctors, not painting with a broad brush here, but doctors became pill pushers. That's what they were for big pharma. So it's so easy to throw a pill at it, like you're saying. Somebody comes in and says, I'm feeling blue. Okay, here you go. Here's a prescription for Zoloft or any of the others that we've talked about over the years. Been a crap ton of them that have come out. And the next thing you know, doctors are being flown to Hawaii to give conferences on antidepressants and all that stuff, and the conference lasts less than an hour, and they get a 2-week vacation, and Big Pharma paid for it.
It's big money.
And it's not just SSRIs. They do it with a lot of other things. We consider do a whole month's worth of shows.
And also, we're not trying to diminish chronic depression and people who deal with that. But
of course not.
There certainly is a culture of get them on a pill, get them on a pill, get them on a pill.
And the real crime here is that they do it to kids. This is what RFK was talking about. This was a story, what you're talking about, is a story in the New York Times yesterday morning. He's talking about children specifically.
Yeah.
He wants to attack the problem of these doctors. Every time a child doesn't feel halfway right, okay, just give them a bunch of drug them up. Why? Because if you get them on it early, you're going to have them locked forever, like Jordan Peterson with Klonopin.
Well, I've known people who have been on these meds since they were kids. Like I wasn't prescribed my first antidepressant until I was in my early 20s. I know people, though. I have known people who were prescribed this stuff as early as 10 or 11 years of age, when your brain is still forming. Your brain is still forming at that point, and they put them on these drugs. And the thing about the SSRIs or the psychotropics and all these drugs and chemical inhibitors is that it's a roll of the dice with every single person who takes them. You don't really know how it's going to affect somebody until you see how it affects somebody. And if it's affecting you poorly, then what do? Well, they change the dosage, or they give you, a different kind of pill, or give you additional meds. So as far as prescribing kids, it scrambles a lot of kids' heads very early on. For want of a very easy or quick solution to something that's probably, like I said, a little bit more complex.
How many commercials are out there right now that say, if your antidepressant is not working, we've got another pill that you add to you add to it. And so now you're on 4 or 5 different pills, and they continue to add another pill and another pill and another pill. For men in particular, this is what happens. You get so level, you don't experience any emotion up or down at all, and you don't have any sexual drive, and you can't operate when you do have a sexual moment.
Well,
you can't operate, so what do? They give you the blue pill.
Right.
This is how they get you on 20, 25 drugs that you're popping every stinking day.
I have experienced the first thing. Emotional blunting is what it's called.
That is what it's called.
Antidepressants will cause a certain amount of emotional blunting where you're not feeling anything. Now, you're not depressed, you're not sad, but you're also joyless. There's no emotion whatsoever.
That is correct.
So, I'm glad that he's going to be looking out for the kids and people in general with these things, because I have said for years they're being overprescribed. And I myself have experienced that, where you go in and talk to somebody for like 20 minutes and you're walking out of there with a prescription for a pretty intense
you are a
prescription drug.
You're 1,000,000% correct. We are being overprescribed with that, but also with everything.
Well, yeah. Oh,
with
yeah,
everything.
Absolutely.
More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
Dave Ramsey here. When your AC quits, the plumbing backs up, or something electrical goes sideways, you need straight answers. That's why I recommend Champion Home Services. They handle heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. One company with no pressure and no games or upselling. Just honesty and clear pricing before anything starts. You see the purple Champion trucks and their belt buckle logo all over town. Champion believes in doing things the right way the first time. They show up on time, respect your home, they respect your money, and they do the work like professionals should, helping you sleep better at night. So when you need reliable AC, plumbing, and electrical help from people you can trust, call Champion Home Services at 210-528-1604 or go to championac.com. Trustworthy, Texas-proud home services, championac.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Hey, it's Sean. If you're a small business owner in Texas and you're looking at ways to cover your employees as far as their health care, talk to my friends at Texacare. Many small businesses across the state have not been able to offer basic health coverage to employees, but Texacare's goal is to provide a new health care option that is built with small businesses in mind. In fact, they've talked to small business owners to understand what is important to them. Texacare plans are designed with the goal of making it easier for people and their families to stay healthy, with benefits like no copay, unlimited virtual care visits with licensed doctors 24/7, no appointment, no waiting in an office. Just quick access to a doctor who can diagnose common ailments and prescribe treatments by phone, video, call, or text. Talk to my friends at Texacare. Take care, Texas. All you got to do is go to the website for all the information. If you're a small business owner, you need Texacare. That website, Texacare.com. That's Texacare.com. Take care, Texas, with Texacare.
It's 8 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. The Spurs back in action tonight, and they need a win against the T-Wolves at Frost Bank Center. A look at KTSA Sports coming up. Is the U.S. close to making a deal with Iran to end the war?
The operation is over. Epic Fury, as the president notified Congress, we're done with that stage of it.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio. President Trump is also pausing Project Freedom. That's the operation escorting stranded ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian state media is reporting the U.S. is backing off the strait because Project Freedom failed. Then again, a naval blockade on all Iranian ports remains in place. We've got the latest on the story at KTSA.com. 2 people are dead, 3 others recovering after a shooting at a Dallas area strip mall that's home to many Korean businesses. Is it being labeled a hate crime? KTSA's John Cruz.
Police in Carrollton, just outside Dallas, say this wasn't a random attack.
Victims were meeting with the suspect for a business purpose. This is not a random act of gunfire.
That is Chief Roberto Arredondo saying the suspect is now in custody, and he says this is not a hate crime. The gunman knew his victims well. John Cruz, KTSA News.
A wanted man is dead after a shootout with a SWAT team Tuesday night. Undercover detectives had followed the 30-year-old suspect to an apartment complex in the 200 block of West Dixon on the south side. They decided to call in SWAT because the suspect was considered armed and dangerous. 4 SWAT officers showed up in an unmarked car and deployed a flashbang device. Investigators say the suspect then fired at the officers, who then returned fire. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. He was facing charges including assault, property crime, drug dealing, and a parole violation. More than 3 months since Nancy Guthrie disappeared in Arizona, FBI Director Kash Patel is speaking out. He's not a big fan of the guy running the investigation.
Patel questioning why Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano sent DNA evidence to a private lab in Florida instead of the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia. Last night, the Sheriff's Department responded to Patel's claims, insisting the FBI was promptly notified by both our department and the Guthrie family. While the FBI director was not on scene, coordination with the Bureau began without delay. and insisting the Florida lab and the FBI's lab worked in close partnership from the outset.
That's correspondent Sophie Flay. Nancy Guthrie is the mother of NBC Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. KTSA News Time is 8:02. It's time for KTSA Sports with Rob Thompson.
In the NBA, the playoffs went chalk last night. The Detroit Pistons handled the Cavaliers pretty easily, 111-101. Tobias Harris had 20. Duncan Robinson had 5 threes in the game. In the other, Oklahoma City, well, they took care of the Lakers yet again, 108-90. SGA had 18 points, which was his lowest point production since the Western Finals last year. Chet Holmgren had 24 points and 12 rebounds in the win. In Dallas Cowboys news, they're hosting veteran cornerback Adoree Jackson, free agent from the Eagles. He had 55 tackles and 1 interception last year. Cowboys appear to be in the market for an older cornerback. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and your KTSA AccuWeather forecast, both next on 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Every business leader is hearing the same message right now. You need an AI strategy.
But moving too fast with AI can create real problems, security gaps, compliance issues, wasted money, and confused teams too.
I'm Wes Funch, CEO of Bridgehead IT. We see this every day, and it's why we created the AI Readiness Assessment for medium to large businesses.
It's about understanding where AI can actually help your organization, where it creates risk, and what steps need to happen before you roll it out. I recommend you call Wes and his team at Bridgehead IT before it's too late.
We'll sit down with your team, review your current environment, identify opportunities, and help protect your sensitive data from day one. AI can bring real measurable value to your business, but only when it's built on the right strategy, security, and structure.
Don't wait. Schedule your AI readiness assessment with Bridgehead IT.
Visit bridgeheadit.com.
That's bridgeheadit.com.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Energy-efficient windows from a local family-owned company. Call me, the window guy, at Precision Windows and Doors, 210-596-6588, or visit precisionwindowssa.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time is 8:05. Rush hour is happening, and Debbie Alcacer's got everything you need to know right here. KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Good morning. We still have this trouble spot downtown at 35 southbound St. Mary's, Camden, accident center median. On Rittman westbound at Gibbs Sprawl, that stalled 18-wheeler is still taking up 2 right lanes. They're having a heck of a time getting it out of there. There is a heavy-duty wrecker on scene. In the clearing stage is this road work at 35 northbound at Pat Booker Road. And a stall at 281 southbound Hildebrand off to the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
A front continues to push through today. It'll be cloudy to start, then a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a thunderstorm. Still warm and humid with the high of 83. Cloudy and cooler tonight, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high just 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Up to 76 degrees at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550, KTSA, and FM 107.1.
News Talk 550, KTSA.
Ware. 550 KTSA.
I just got the shove it from our news anchor.
Yeah, you did.
He just gave me the shove it thing there.
Yep. Did you do that, Christian?
He did it.
How rude.
Why?
You know,
I thought you were telling him he's number one.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, you're number one, Trey. That's it.
You're number one.
You're
That's
number
exactly
one.
what it was.
That's what he was saying.
Did that go across on YouTube, though?
No, it didn't. It didn't make it
No,
on
no.
YouTube. No, not on KTSA.com. But
Well, now YouTube knows Trey's number one.
He's number one.
you could hear it. You could hear you hit yourself on the air though, because your mic was still on.
You
when
hear that
did
little
it.
thump?
Slump.
Look at you.
Yeah, you did it. It was perfect.
That was a sound effect is what that was.
It was good. I liked it. Okay, here we are. Assuming Iran agrees to give what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption, the already legendary Epic Fury will be at an end, and the highly effective blockade would allow the Hormuz strait to be open to all, including Iran. If they don't agree, the bombing starts, and it will be sadly at a much higher level and intensity than it was before. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald John Trump. The Dow is banging at 50K. Crude oil, oh man, 24 hours ago, a barrel of oil was 104. Right now it's about 90, and falling like a rock. So things are changing rather quickly. Now, as we said in our video that you and I do, as we said in our video this morning, heard this story before. A couple of Fridays ago, we were all excited. Woo-ha, look at this. It's
we
all
sure
over.
were, yeah.
And it turns out that you can't trust these people because they're organic. They're a living thing. They come and they go, and they come and they push and they pull, and they're up and they're down and they're sideways. And this is a bit of an up moment because looks like Iran has a one-page deal that they have agreed to.
Right, a one-page dealio, and we know what's got to be in there if Trump's agreeing to it is no nukes. They're also the Iranian foreign minister is meeting with China today, or is meeting with China. I wonder if that has any impact as far as, China isn't exactly benefiting from the strait being closed down. Would you say?
No.
So
nobody is.
Nobody is, but China is their big brother.
and that is why, beginning now, we should have a Geneva-type convention that this won't happen again. And if it does, the entire world is compelled and must come to the aid and open this strait or any other international body of water.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it's a great idea.
I know.
But look at how this thing is gone. Look at how many countries have dithered, especially Europe. In Europe, it dithered back and forth about whether or not we're going to help or we should or we shouldn't.
I know what you're saying. I'm not being Pollyannish, and I'm not sitting here thinking that, suddenly they're going to do this. But at least, just like we have the Geneva Convention on War, and countries still violate that.
Oh, sure.
We should have something formal that says, and here's why I'm pushing for it. So that if we have to take significant action in the future, because it will be us, to open the Strait of Hormuz, we got the paper.
Right.
We'll have the paper.
I think it's a great idea.
Baby, we're going.
And maybe our actions in Iran will show to the rest of the world how valuable such an understanding would be in the future, that, hey, if other crazy guys take over and start shutting it down, we all got to come together and make this happen. Now, obviously, we're always going to be the ones. We're always going to be the heavy lifter. You talked about the Italian PM earlier and how, we went into this thing thinking surely she's going to be on our side or we're going to want to help. And no.
They're on our side. They just don't help.
They don't help. Yeah.
So we're with you.
The UK. Yeah.
We're with you. You go in that burning house yourself.
In the UK, we're having a commission to decide how we're going to help you, but we're right behind you. All the way.
It's like when the fire truck. It's like when the fire truck shows up and everybody stands back and one guy goes in. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. You go in the burning house.
We got your back, man.
All right. Report from Yami Vergen.
Viedhen.
Viedhen.
Yeah.
Viedhen.
Edhu Yahe. Okay, great. All right. Anyway, Yami. Can I just say Yami?
You can say Yami.
She does a good job. She does.
It sounds like he doesn't eat meat.
I'm not vegan at all.
Yeah, vegan.
No, I don't eat vegan. That's for sure. Give me a cow. So Yami she does a good job, and she's over there at Channel 4 with Jay Avila, who I think is just one of the prime investigative reporters on the planet. But she did a good job on this. Been talking about these houses that blowed up.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So she did some digging, and she found out some very interesting things about gas leaks. And a guy by the name of Michael Lyons, his dad, Clem, represented me in a few cases a number of years ago. You know Clem? Did you know him?
I know Michael Lyons.
You know Michael? He won a $110 million judgment against CPS on a similar case. So the two people that had filed their lawsuit last week against CPS, they yanked that lawsuit that they had filed and fired the attorneys they were with that had filed that lawsuit and went with Michael.
Right.
Because he's got great experience at this. So Yami did some digging, and she found out July through December of 25, there were 1,043 gas leaks in Bexar County. Comal had 162, Guadalupe had 90, and Kerr County had 67. There were a total of 1,500 in our area in 6 months. CPS in Bexar County shows that 532 of the 1,043 were grade 1 leaks. A grade 1 leak is the most dangerous, which all it needs is a little fart to blow something up. That's all you got to have to blow something up. Harris County had 9,000 leaks in the same period of time. So this is a big problem, but, you know, and I shared this with Christian when I got back and I heard this story. I went in and talked to him before anybody else got here that morning, and I said, that sounds to me like a pressure issue. Remember I was talking about my water softener?
That's right.
Like a pressure issue, or they had, you know, they're going to these smart meters where they can read them by a distance, and I hear those things are junky plastic, so it was something like that. It had something to do with the pressure buildup or something in the line. They had a leak of some kind. What caused the leak? Was it pressure buildup? The fire department says it was, and that's why and you still got people in the hospital from these explosions that happened on the northeast side. You still have people in the hospital. So this right here builds the case for lawsuit against CPS.
Well, yeah, I saw that yesterday. I kind of picked up on that. You know, the numbers don't lie. When you have that many in one county, and it's pretty much matching what you have as far as gas leaks across multiple counties, there's obviously something going on in Bexar County. And they got to figure out what it is. This is not little stuff. These are people's houses blowing up, for crying out loud.
And also yesterday in her story, she mentioned a another lawsuit, but not gas related.
Okay.
I'm losing the word.
Okay. I'm not familiar.
Transformer.
Okay, well,
Caught a house on fire.
Okay, yes, this is a different deal. Okay, this has nothing to do. This is a different deal. Okay, let's keep these. Let's not conflate these. But you're right about CPS. Okay, so what happened there on the west side? You had a transformer explode, which happens, and it caught a house on fire, and those people are now suing CPS for the explosion of the transformer. Now,
well, the infrastructure of the west side's crap, and it has been for a long time.
We have that happen a lot of times when we get rain, because those transformers, they sit dry and they collect a lot of dust. So the first rainfall you get after they've collected a lot of dust and gotten dirty, they have a tendency to explode. And I mean, you can hear those things for miles. It shuts the power down, and it is a large spark. So it did ignite this house, because a lot of times, especially in the older neighborhoods, those transformers are lower. In the newer neighborhoods in the last 35, 40 years, they've been putting them up on the poles higher.
Right.
You see that round box thing that's up there? They've been putting them up in the air away from the homes. But in the olden days, and I know Nancy's grandparents have several houses on downtown, the west side of 35, and those transformers are lower, closer to the house itself. So if it explodes, it can ignite the house.
And a lot of those houses are basically kindling, too. They're old houses, and they're close together, and you get one house catching on fire, and it's going to set the whole block up, basically.
So bottom line is, you know, CPS has a lot of issues here that they need to pay close attention. They need to get on top of a lot of this stuff, and I don't know if this was from the Paula Gold Williams era, and she wasn't on top of doing what needed to be done to improve this stuff and to bring it into you know, where we are now. We know that she did that when we had the big snowfall and people froze to death in San Antonio. Of all things, you freeze to death in San Antonio, Texas.
How bizarre is that?
Right?
Really?
But she had spent the money on all this DEI stupidity instead of focusing on making sure we had the power to get through a storm such as that.
Right.
And so is this another thing that came from her era of not taking care of business? I don't know that. We don't know. We don't know the answer to that.
I don't know, but the numbers are pretty lopsided as far as gas leaks.
Well, you know, the mayor hasn't really done a good job of addressing this, but she damn well better, okay? Because this is the lives of people in her community, and the city-owned power company has dropped the ball on this.
Right.
And it's her job, if she wants to be a leader of the people of this community, to stand up and say, I'm going to get down to the nut on this. I'm going to find out what the hell's going on and why people's homes are blowing up like this, and why we have 1,043, in just a few months, 1,043 major gas leaks. Half of those are grade 1, causing house explosions. That's not going to happen in my city. That's what she should do.
The Spurs are in the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
And she's also spending He's got the Spurs in the playoffs. He's also having to explain why people keep ditching her, left and right. So she's.
I guess. Well,
I agree with you. Don't get me wrong.
No,
I
know.
I'm like, somebody needs to address this.
She went on
man.
KSAT a couple of days ago or yesterday, whenever it was, and she, talked a little bit about this. But she hasn't done anything as far as like, I'm going to find out why.
Mark White's doing it.
Huh?
Mark White's doing a good job.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So. Anyway, all right. Let me tell you about my friends over at M&G Bank. They are, this is Small Business Week. The president kicked it off on Monday. Had a lot of small business people up at the White House and celebrating those folks in the small business. I got to tell you, if you're looking for a small business loan, the best in Texas and right here is at M&G Bank. No question about that. This just hands down, they're number one in SBA loans. So if you're looking for money for your small business, no matter what your small business is, okay, doesn't matter. Amogee is going to be here to walk through that whole project with you, whether it's at home and you've got a home-based business, or more importantly, you're not going to have a home-based business. You got a business that's out there, and you're going to have some seed money to get the doors open, to get the property, to do the things you need to do, like turn the lights on and get the utilities generated, and then make sure you can hire some people and pay insurance. You know all those things you got to do. And your friends at Amogee help you get all that in line, because that's a daunting task for an individual or two people in a small home base or small family run business. So Amogee walks through that whole process with you and helps you. They help you establish yourself in business, not only so you survive in business, but thrive. You have a dream and you want to take it to the business world, then you turn to Amogee Bank. And, of course, all of your personal loans and personal money matters, financial stuff. Amogee takes care of all that for you, too. Just go into any location. There's more than 80 of them around. In fact, the newest one's at Bitters and 281. They'll buy you a cup of coffee and talk with you about your financial needs at Amogee Bank. Amogee NA, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Sun and clouds and a thunderstorm possible, high of 84. Cooler tomorrow, right around 70. 75 now, KTSA.
This is the greatest movement in the history of our country.
A movement of news and talk.
And it's just starting.
News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Imagine a clinic where you can see your primary care provider who will actually help you reduce your medications and improve your overall health. A clinic where you are rewarded for getting rid of medications. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. A place where you have a whole team of professionals that work together to balance your hormones, reduce your digestive issues, decrease inflammation, improve energy, sleep better, and get out of pain naturally. At the Institute for Functional Health, you receive state-of-the-art testing, education, and care. You are never alone, and you will have a team that is relentless in the pursuit to make you the best version of yourself. Now is the time to take care of your health. Call us at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. You don't have to worry, we can see you now. Call 468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Call Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. 468-1891. 468-1891.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
Well, we know the benefits of having great hearing aids and being able to hear well. That's exactly why I've been telling you now for a long time about Hear, H-E-A-R, here in Texas. But did you also know there are problems with health that are associated often with poor hearing? Things like balance issues and early onset dementia. If you or somebody that you know suffers from hearing loss, as I do, I want you to see Hear in Texas. Simply the best. They will do a complete evaluation of your hearing to find out what's going on so they can prescribe for you the right fix that's that's for you. You see, there's no cookie-cutter approach with the team at Here in Texas. They are a team of hearing specialists, and they're ready to work for you today. They accept TRICARE and other insurance as well, and they have a wonderful subscription service. So when the technology updates, as it does frequently, you just get a brand new pair of hearing aids. Find out more today by logging on at Here in Texas, HEAR, HereInTX.com. Have your hearing tested today at the best in Texas. That's Here in Texas, HEAR, HereInTX.com.
Well, I talked with the folks over at the Gunslingers, and I'll be speaking there for the Military Appreciation Night on May 23rd. May 23rd. So I got a fistful of tickets I want to give away. Just call Elaine right now at 210-599-5555. A fistful of tickets to go see the San Antonio Gunslingers. It's real pro football in San Antonio. 210-599-5555. Call her now.
That's a lot of fun. I actually went to my first game last year and really enjoyed it. And I'm not a huge football guy, but the indoor football I really enjoyed. I'm going to do my own version of bits and pieces here. Got a couple of stories that I've been wanting to hit. First off, holy crap! Did you see that video out of Washington State where the woman goes down the sidewalk after the kid on the bike, and she's like obviously trying to hit the kid, and they pull her over. She's a damn near 60-year-old woman who's allegedly under the influence of drugs and alcohol. And just horrific to watch. I mean, I don't really have a great analysis of it other than, wow, I'm glad they got her off the road because she was obviously aiming for that kid. Now, we don't know what happened before that. There was some stuff, I guess something about somebody tried to maybe break into her house. Or I don't know. But she said when they pulled her over, she was pretty incoherent. She was rambling about her dog or something like that.
She was taking her dog out to associate with other with other dogs in the neighborhood.
Very obviously, that would lead you to chase a kid down the sidewalk on a bike.
Or being drunk and high.
Get thee to a 12-step program. The other thing from yesterday that I thought was funny with Pete Hegseth, the dolphin thing. We had this business of kamikaze dolphins come up, and which is something that has happened. We had a Wall Street Journal story that about or suggesting that the Iranians are dumping mines into the strait using dolphins. Dolphins have been used for military purposes. I've seen the documentaries over the years, and I thought his Hegseth's response was brilliant. In that, well, Iran doesn't have them, but I'm not going to say as to whether or not we do. And I thought that was I hope we're not using dolphins to do anything and blowing them up.
Blowing up dolphins?
Yes,
I
hope not.
I would imagine we're not
blowing up dolphins. I saw there's a show that comes on Friday, and Fridays that they marathon on the History Channel that I've been watching. It's I think it's called the Unbelievable with Dan Aykroyd. It's like the Shatner show where they just do these weird stories. And they've done a couple of stories I saw last week where they, in World War II, they tried to use birds with explosives. I think I read at some point they were using a kind of frog maybe or something they were dropping on an area, and the idea is that these things would crawl into a house or a bunker and blow up. So it's never really been cost efficient or reliable to use animals in this way. But I just thought Hegseth was clever in the way he answered that.
he can have very clever comebacks.
That's
for sure.
He really can, and it's really interesting watching him and Rubio and the rest of these guys navigate their way through Iran. I've never seen the cabinet. I know you've heard me say this before. They're like the Beatles of presidential cabinets. Every single one of them does not allow the press to run roughshod over them, as they have. It's pretty standard behavior, and has been in the presidential press box for a long time, press room, where the reporters almost are running the show. And these guys don't mess around. Rubio was brilliant yesterday. I mean, it's rare for me doing this for a living that I'm captivated by a press conference, because I just work here. That's just something you and I got to watch as a matter of course because of what we do. But watching Rubio yesterday, he actually drew me in. I was really actually captivated by the whole thing, whether it was pointing to people and saying, I don't know who you are, and the person in the pink, or just his answers on things like Iran were very well spoken. And that's what I mean when I say he comes off as, I mean, JD has a great personality. JD is obviously a very intelligent, very talented person. But for me, Rubio comes off much more presidential in the way he describes things and talks about certain issues.
It's not even a contest.
You know, it really isn't. And you wouldn't have thought that about Rubio 10 years ago.
Well, the whole shaky water thing after Obama's speech and all that. But it's not even a contest. And like I said earlier, the kingmakers in the Republican Party are going to have a really hard choice come next year about who they're going to run in 28. It's going to be a big deal.
I think it will be. And I think JD's camera friendly. But Rubio has got the brains.
Rubio's more polished because he's been doing this longer, and JD's going to get better, but Rubio's just at a higher level. That's what I see.
Okay, we got to go.
Brainy guy.
More Ware and Rima coming up. Let me tell you about my friends over at Bjorn's. At Bjorn's, they are your home technology experts for all things home technology, and they have been for over 50 years. That's right. For over 50 years, people like you and me have depended on Bjorn's. Now, Nancy and I went to one of the big box stores the other day because we had to buy some coffee and a few other things that we needed, right? And, of course, they got televisions in those big box stores, and they're trying to sell those things. And I'm going to tell you right now, the place, if you're looking for a stadium experience TV, the cream of the crop, the best of the best, with the people who have the knowledge. You see, that's the thing about going to a big box store. It's a person there, not knocking them. You know, 1 minute they're dealing with the candies, the next minute with the shirts, and then they're going to try to talk to you about TVs. They don't know it. At Bjorn's, they know this stuff. This is what they do. This has been their thing now for over 50 years. Bjorn Dibdahl is one of the finest people you'll ever know. He's still there. Go in and say hi to him. Chris and Neil, his son and son-in-law, they are the next generation of tech heads, digital guys that understand all the home technology when it comes to digital stuff. So whole home automation, they can do it all. Home theaters, you bet. Home networking, absolutely. And they have that beautiful state-of-the-art showroom over at 281 and Bitters Road. Go on in and talk with them about custom home technology solutions from TVs to audio, indoor, outdoor, and everything in between at Bjorn's, just Bjorn's.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, it's Sean. What is Texacare? Texacare is healthcare coverage built by Texans for Texans. Texacare was created by seasoned healthcare professionals right here in Texas, and they're a new health plan provider specifically focused on local small businesses. So if that's you, talk to my friends at Texacare. They have great plans that offer great benefits, like 4 no copay visits per member per year for your providers, such as urgent care specialists like cardiologists and dermatologists, mental health professionals, physical therapy, and Chiropractic. Also, no copay, unlimited virtual care visits with licensed doctors 24/7, no appointment, and no waiting in an office. Who doesn't love this stuff? Texacare plans also cater to individuals with chronic conditions for 4 no copay visits a year for your primary care, so your physician can help manage conditions like diabetes or hypertension. So talk to my friends at Texacare. Take care, Texas, again, by getting your healthcare coverage for your small business through Texacare by going to this website, Texacare.com. That's Texacare.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
The U.S. is pausing an effort to escort stranded ships in the Strait of Hormuz, but why is that? We'll dig into it coming up. A man is dead after police say he fired at a SWAT team last night on the south side. And the Spurs will try to even up their NBA playoff series with the Minnesota T-Wolves tonight. Another loss would mean San Antonio trails 2-0. We'll get more on that coming up at 9 o'clock. KTSA News Time, 8:33.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot on 281. This report sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Southbound 281 Jones-Maltsburger. Disabled vehicle left center lane closed. On 35 southbound at St. Mary's, this wreck is blocking the center median. Plus, looks like the left lane headed to the lower level, that's blocked as well. Facing production swings or a tough skills gap? Workforce Solutions from Express Employment Professionals makes hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Still a little unsettled today as a front continues to clear the area after a cloudy start. A mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a thunderstorm, a high of 83. Becoming cloudy tonight, cooler, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high of 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Got thunderstorms in the area of Junction right now, but nothing to the south. Kerrville, still cloudy, mostly clear. It's 76 degrees at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
8:34. It's Ware and Rima, KTSA. Yeah. All right. So Tom and Mary and Felix and Jason, congratulations to y'all. They picked up some tickets to go see the San Antonio Gunslingers. They're an awesome football club. You're going to love it. I'll be speaking there on May 23rd. Got my Trey's bits and pieces for you. I start with the Babylon Bee this morning. Compassionate federal judge rules the assassin should get one more shot to kill Trump. Jeez. You got to love the Babylon Bee.
That'd be a great job to have, wouldn't it? Just writing that crap all day.
Oh, man. The University of Houston put out a poll this morning. Likely Republican voters in the state of Texas, Ken Paxton is leading Rhino John Cornyn.
God.
48-45. Favorable, Paxton 50, John Cornyn 47, 43-43 for each, based on who fares best against Trans Rico. The polls have been pretty consistent on Ken Paxton being ahead of Rhino John Cornyn, who wrote gun control legislation. If you want to know anything about gun control, look at what's happening in Iran right now as to why you don't want gun control in America. Not to mention, shall not be infringed is a part of the Second Amendment.
Well, if I may, sure. John Cornyn, I think he really overplayed the bull crap that he was this great ally of Trump on the border, and people know that he absolutely wasn't.
Well, the proof's in the pudding here because they have spent $72 million in this runoff election. $72 million for John Cornyn. We're talking about the big Rhino people have been dumping tons of money in here, and that's like 10 times or something more than Ken Paxton has been able to spend here in Texas. It's only been a few million that Ken Paxton, and so Paxton is beating him. That tells you all you need to know about any kind of race against James Transrico. Now, for those who think that Donald Trump, the shine's off of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is dropping in popularity, and nobody likes Donald Trump anymore, get the woke mind virus out of your head. He's more popular now with true patriotic Americans than anybody has ever been in the history of this country. 100%.
I agree.
No,
I agree.
the polling shows 100% of patriotic Americans are behind Donald Trump. And if you don't believe it, just look at what happened in Ohio and Indiana last night.
Oh, yeah. We had a bunch of people who were endorsed by Donald Trump win those primary races, right?
That's exactly right. What you had was a bunch of rhinos. In fact, in Indiana in particular, you had guys that refused to redistrict and redraw the maps. They should have, and you had rhinos who said, no, we're not going to do it, kind of like John Thune is doing with the Save America Act. Right? And so they refused to do it, and Donald Trump told them months ago, you know what, I'm going to find people to primary you, and we're going to kick you out. And so he got behind these other candidates, these MAGA candidates, if you will, and it was a slaughter in Indiana last night. It wasn't even close. Donald Trump-endorsed candidates ran away with the primaries last night. In Ohio as well. Ramaswamy, he won the gubernatorial deal up in Ohio. So, you know, what do you say? The accounts of my death are a little premature or something.
Well,
you know? And they are. They're very premature when it comes to Donald Trump. Don't ever count the man out.
Well, the worst thing you can do when it comes to Trump is underestimate him. And, you know, a lot of rhino Republicans want to take that gleam off of him. And, of course, the media are working 24/7 against him. But I think when it comes down to brass tacks, people still know exactly who and what he is, and they trust him. I mean, I know I do. You know, in most things, he's got a pretty good track record. So it doesn't surprise me that if he taps your shoulder, you're going to end up winning.
Marco Rubio put it this way yesterday.
The last point I would make, and it really is important for them to understand this, is they really shouldn't test the will of the United States, at least not under President Donald Trump. He has proven time and again that he will back up what he says. And if they test him, ultimately they will lose. The hard way, the easy way, the long way, the short way, they will lose.
And that goes for politics in this country, and that goes with Iran. They are going to lose. By the way, the Secretary of Everything was awesome at the White House yesterday. He is on his way this week. He's going to the Vatican to meet with the Pope over there to try to broker a peace deal with the Pope and the President. Trump is ending a 47-year war in Iran, and the Pope has been very critical of President Trump trying to end this war. Apparently, the Pope, when he says, you know, I'm a person of peace and I want peace and all that, he's ignorant of what Iran has been doing, because Iran has been killing people for 47 years in a horrific way. And in particular, Pope Leo, he's been killing women in a particularly horrific way. They mutilate women over there. Women have no freedom and they don't have any rights over there. And then eventually they are killed. They beat women with sticks over there. The Pope has not criticized that at all, but he meets with David Axelrod, who is Barack Obama's right-hand man, and then he comes out and he criticizes Donald Trump. So,
well, Rubio mentioned that yesterday, that, you know, a nuclear Iran, or just Iran in general, they kill a lot of Christians, a lot of Catholics, you know, so it's kind of odd that that would be the Pope, that the Pope would not be coming out a little stronger against Iran.
Well, and look,
having a nuke especially.
Well, if they ever got a nuke, they would land it in St. Peter's Square. And they, you know,
I agree.
The Pope should pay attention to that. And you're criticizing the wrong guy, Pope Leo. The guy you ought to be criticizing are these idiots in that regime in Iran who spread terror all over this world and kill people all the time. That's who you need to level your sights at. Marco Rubio can bring him to some realization on this. I'm quite sure.
I just think it's funny that the president has to broker a peace deal with the Pope.
Well,
I think that's interesting.
And it's not because Trump took in after him.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
The Pope met with David Axelrod and took in after Trump for trying to save lives. Now, that makes absolutely no sense.
Well,
none whatsoever.
He's being political like his predecessor.
Well, and you know what? He shouldn't. He should render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and unto God that which is God. Focus on taking care of your people. Don't worry about what's happening here. And if you see an injustice in the world like Iran, you address that injustice. And that Iran has been the greatest carrier of injustices since 1979.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Speaking of all of that, did you hear this? Okay, so this happened in New York City last night. You had a mob of people wearing keffiyehs on their faces, by the way. They're real Jew haters, and they're there at the most important synagogue, the oldest synagogue, the Park East Synagogue on 67th Street, the historic Park East Synagogue. These Nazis, because that's what they are, they're modern-day Nazis.
Well, yeah, they're Jew haters, like I've been saying for a long time.
And at least Hitler's people showed their faces. These guys covered their faces with a kippah. They're waving the Palestinian flag, and they're attacking, trying to knock the cops over and saying Israel must be defeated. Israel must go. Death to all Jews. You couldn't understand them what they were screaming.
Right.
Death to all Jews and death to Israel. This is in the United States of America.
It doesn't surprise me in New York, though, unfortunately. You know, they want to hammer down on the people, you know, with what do you call it, curfews and stuff across the country because you have these mobs of teenagers taking over stuff. Unless you're Jew haters, then you have free reign and you can tear up any neighborhood you want to in America.
Well, in New York in particular because of the new mayor up there.
Right.
And Mr. Mamdani has not commented on this at all.
Of course
He has
not.
not said a word on this at all. And his wife bumps into Miss Israel at a cafe. Doesn't know who she is, you know, and takes a selfie with her and smiles, and then she says, "I'm Miss Israel," and she literally throws up. Miss Mamdani does.
I mean, talking about girl hate, man. It was
horrible.
obvious, man, as soon as she figured out who she was.
Well, she is, and so is her husband. They're Jew haters, too.
Yes, they are. They are, and it's still, you know, it's still shocking. I mean, I know they're Islamic weirdos or, you know, extremists, but it's still very strange to me, given the era that you and I grew up in here in America, to see such rampant Jew hatred and anti-Israel stuff. You just never figured you'd see that here in this country, and yet here we are. I mean, that was a Jew-hating rally, basically, last night.
Yes, it was.
That's exactly what it was.
Huge. Here in Texas, they are an amazing group of folks ready to take care of all of your hearing aid needs, every last one of them, and they have a bunch of great audiologists there that are simply amazing at discovering what is your particular issue and what needs to be done to help you with that particular issue. That's what Here in Texas can do for you. And all you've got to do is log on to their website, hereintx.com. That's hereintx.com. Book your appointment to go in and see them. Sean did it a couple of years ago. I did it a couple of years ago. The impact on my life has been fantastic. The things I can hear now that I couldn't hear before have really improved the quality of my life and my relationships and things of that nature. So I just want you to get in touch with them and go see Dr. Sally or any of them. They got a house full of audiologists there that are highly qualified. You'll run into Hero. You'll run into Audio, two beautiful dogs that just going to lap and love all over you at Here in Texas, HEAR, hereintx.com. Sun and clouds, a thunderstorm is possible, 84 for the high. Cooler tomorrow, 70 for the high. 75 now at KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a couple of new trouble spots. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. On 281 southbound Jones-Malsberger, disabled vehicle with 2 left lanes blocked. 10-minute delay has got you slow from airport. 35 northbound, that off-ramp to Weidner. This wreck has the off-ramp partially blocked. And a stalled 18-wheeler, Rittiman westbound at Gibbs Sprawl. 2 right lanes blocked. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP or MADD.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Imagine a clinic where you can see your primary care provider who will actually help you reduce your medications and improve your overall health. A clinic where you are rewarded for getting rid of medications. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. A place where you have a whole team of professionals that work together to balance your hormones, reduce your digestive issues, decrease inflammation, improve energy, sleep better, and get out of pain naturally. At the Institute for Functional Health, you receive state-of-the-art testing, education, and care. You are never alone, and you will have a team that is relentless in the pursuit to make you the best version of yourself. Now is the time to take care of your health. Call us at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. You don't have to worry, we can see you now. Call 468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Call Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. 468-1891. 468-1891.
Every leader feels the pressure to do AI, but rushing in leads to leaks and wasted budget. Bridgehead IT starts with a full AI assessment to secure your data and find where AI actually moves the needle. Stop guessing. Lead with confidence at bridgeheadit.com.
Now more than ever, Texas energy security is national security. That's why Governor Greg Abbott has endorsed Jim Wright's re-election to Railroad Commissioner. Jim Wright understands how important Texas energy is to make sure we keep America first. Jim Wright is focused on making sure hostile foreign nations can never have direct ownership or indirect influence on Texas energy. And he's not stopping there. Jim Wright will keep radical militant Islamists out of Texas energy, protecting our infrastructure and our future. Look at Jim Wright's results. Record oil revenues topping $6 billion, fueling our economy and supporting record state surpluses. Jim Wright knows energy independence is national security, keeping Texas strong and America secure. He'll always stand firm for Texas. Jim Wright, protecting Texas energy, securing America's future. Re-elect Jim Wright for Railroad Commissioner. Election Day is May 26th. Political ad paid for by Texas Now PAC.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exoderm for eczema and dermatitis. Exoderm costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exoderm, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exoderm Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exoderm for eczema. Now that's smart.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
I have Texas Rhino Shield on my home. I love it, and I think you will too. Find out with a free in-home, no-obligation Texas Rhino Shield inspection. Find out if Rhino Shield is right for your home at TexasRhinoShield.com.
Ready to love your floors again? Discover the latest European oak hardwood floors at Pride Floors. Wide planks, natural tones with a timeless style. See it in our showroom or visit our website at pridefloors.com. Expert guidance with a lifetime labor warranty. pridefloors.com.
I get to talk to you about Southwest Metal Roofing Systems, and again, a company I know, I trust. They're the ones I had put on my roof probably 25 years back. Still absolutely beautiful, never had one single problem with it. Called them back and said, hey, would you consider putting a roof on my barn? So this past year, several thousand square feet of roof on my barn. They do all kinds of homes, businesses, outbuildings, and the material they use is true lifetime quality. It's a Galvalume type material, and it simply doesn't rust out or go bad. My roof looks as good as the day they installed it. It truly is a lifetime roof. They give you the best guarantee in the industry. Most insurance companies will give you a discount on your homeowner's insurance. I just love Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. They do the job. They're prompt. They clean up after themselves, and you will truly get the best roof in the industry. Give them a call, 210-822-6868. It's 210-822-6868 for Southwest Metal Roofing Systems.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
Rand Paul just tweeted this. Next week, I'm holding a hearing with a whistleblower who will testify publicly about the COVID cover-up. Mark your calendars Wednesday, May 13th at 10 a.m.
Aren't we getting, with Fauci, aren't we getting close to statute of limitations or something like that with the pardon?
6 days.
6 days. God. I'd like to see that guy in a cage, man. Wouldn't we all? Allegedly, of course, allegedly. Well, a couple of things here, a couple of stories. First off, Jack had touched on this. I don't know if we've hit this yet. On Monday, you had an alderman in Chicago, William Hall, take Walgreens to task because they're closing a Walgreens store down in the 6th Ward. And he's saying it should be corporate abandonment because there are all kinds of people who... older people, Trey, who get their prescriptions from this particular Walgreens, and it's a crime. It should be a crime, he says. And yet the reason the Walgreens is shutting down is because it keeps getting robbed and people keep getting beaten up and attacked and assaulted and robbed, and it just can't stay open. It can't keep its own employees safe. We've seen Walgreens shut down a few locations across the country for this very reason. It's just kind of interesting to see somebody screaming and yelling that they're evil and corporate and they're abandoning old people, when the very same old people probably aren't safe going in there to get a prescription, apparently, if it's that bad. So
that's a typical Democrat response.
It is.
It's the victim is the problem. The victim is the problem here, and let's victim shame.
Right.
But this company, and it wasn't just theft. There was all kinds of violence that was going on inside those stores and stuff like that. And to say, oh, they are committing corporate crime, bull crap.
They couldn't keep their own employees safe.
If that's he said it was his ward and his area, where were you when they were being robbed and when bad stuff was happening to their employees? Why weren't you stepping up to defend that?
There's kind of a theme here, if you follow it, between what this guy's saying in Chicago with the neighborhood watch signs in Ann Arbor, with the TV cameras in Seattle. It's kind of the same energy flow, the idea that the bad guys are being put upon by evil, greedy forces, and they're made to feel bad, and we can't have that.
But who's saying that?
Liberal Democrats.
Because
actually, you don't even really have to call them liberal Democrats anymore, do you?
No, you don't. Well, they're one and the same.
Right.
And they are saying that because, again, as I've always said, they are their constituents.
Oh, yeah.
And so we don't want our constituents going to jail or being charged with a felony because then they lose their voting rights and they can't vote Democrat.
The people beating up cashiers at the Walgreens we depend upon for our continued influence politically. It's interesting stuff. The only other thing I have here, well, a couple of things. First off, bullfighting. When I talked to my guidance counselor in my senior year, I think bullfighting came up, Trey, as far as an option for me.
Sure.
That and sumo wrestling. And, I rejected both and said I want to go with the poetry thing and then support myself in radio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad I didn't take the bullfighting option.
Yeah.
We've had a couple. You and I were talking about a month ago about a guy who got gored in the butt, basically. If you look at the physics and the height of your average bull and the height of your average bullfighter, you can sort of see, spatially speaking, why a lot of these guys, when they do get gored, they get gored in a place you don't want to get gored.
Well, just say, if you're going to be a bullfighter, you better have a lot of testicular fortitude.
Especially this last guy, Alberto Duran. Who,
wasn't he a baseball player?
Now he's a soprano. I'm not wishing the guy harm. He got injured pretty bad, had to get some emergency surgery on a certain part of his body. Again, just look at how tall a bull is and look at how tall a bullfighter is, and you can kind of imagine where it hit him. But that would be a tough gig, man. Getting up every day. I think ultimate fighting guys and bullfighters, when I'm having a rough day at work, or I'm feeling whatever, it was a long day at work, I try to think of these guys. You know what I mean? Okay, if you're a UFC guy, your job is to get up every day and get the crap beat out of you or beat the crap out of somebody else.
That's the preferable one.
To beat the crap out, but there is a lot beating the crap out of somebody is involved.
Yes.
Bullfighting, you are basically messing with a large animal with very sharp, pointy things coming out of its head. It can outrun your ass, and you're basically trying to trick it because it's colorblind into not putting a horn where a horn should not be. Both jobs, I think, would probably be a little stressful.
Have you ever had an encounter with a bull?
A bull? An encounter with a bull? No, I've seen one in a gate. I've never, I've been up close to one, but it was on the other side of a gate.
Yeah, they're extremely strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine they look pretty strong. I don't know if I'd want to mess with one.
I've been chased by a bull.
You've been chased by a bull?
Yeah, in College Station. College.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
I got over the fence before he got me, but all of a sudden I was like, well, that one cow looks bigger. And then he just started running, and then my buddy goes, that's the bull.
Were you a kid or what?
No, college.
Oh, my God.
I was just dumb.
So bulls are colorblind to red.
Yeah, they can't see
so
red.
why did they use that red thing and
Because they just see like a big dark shape and they don't know what it is.
It's
So
just
they don't know if
flashy.
it's solid or not.
It's flashy for the show and the Matador. That's the color.
So
because some of them will do pink.
You know, they used to do the Huntsville Rodeo, and these guys that are on death row, they would get in. Did you ever go see that? The Huntsville.
no, I've never seen it.
Huntsville prison, and the guys that are on death row up there, they would get in out there with the bulls, and what they would do is they would put a pack of cigarettes between the bull's horns.
Oh my God!
I'm not kidding you. Been there many times and
my
watched
God.
this. And those guys would go for that pack of cigarettes to get it. But they're on death row. What do they care, right? They're going to get a pack of smokes. So they're reaching and trying to grab that pack of smokes. And that bull is not happy because they belt the bull.
Right. What do you mean belt him? What do you
They
mean?
put a belt. What makes them jump up and down when the guys are riding them? They put a belt around a hurtful area.
Oh, I got you.
And they cinch that puppy up, and they're
I've
kicking.
seen it on Stir Crazy
It's
and on
nuts.
Urban Cowboy.
It's nuts. I have pictures of me standing there watching these guys.
I don't think you need to say nuts right now.
Well, it is nuts. It's totally nuts.
So's
man.
that
It's
belt.
completely nuts.
It's a little Thunderdome-y.
That's right where it is. Exactly right. I got ran over by one when I was ranching. I thought I was going to be able to throw him.
You got run over by a bull? Yeah. And what happened?
It was a kid bull, and my dad and I were going to brand him.
Right.
And I told my dad, I said, it's a kid, man. He's only a few weeks old. I'll get in there, I'll toss him over, and then you come over and brand him.
Right.
Dad said, you better put him in the chute, son, and we'll just do it in there. I said, nah, I got this. He ran me down.
I bet that hurt.
It did a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
It did a lot. So, look, the bottom line is don't try to be Martin Short.
Don't try to be Martin Short.
Wasn't that the movie that he and whoever
The Three
else?
Amigos?
Huh?
The Three Amigos?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, I've never seen that.
All right, Jimmy, we'll go. We got a break. More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
Hey, folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When was the last time you had a real financial checkup? Not a quick chat, not a sales pitch, an honest, personal review of where you stand and where you're headed. When you schedule a free financial checkup with us, you sit down with me personally. Not a salesperson, not a high-volume call center. I personally walk you through your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return, because your financial life isn't a one-size-fits-all. We actively manage your assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. And we build comprehensive financial plans designed for you, your goals, your family, and your future. Give us a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057 or visit creatingricherlives.com.
Investment management services offered by Cap Trust, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Our current disclosures are available on creatingricherlives.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 9 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. You got thunderstorms now crossing north of Kerrville and Fredericksburg in the hill country. Be advised if you're heading that way. We'll get the latest details in KTSA AccuWeather just ahead. President Trump now calling on Iran to make an agreement or face another round of attacks by the U.S. military.
Posting on Truth Social, Trump said Operation Epic Fury will come to an end along with the U.S. naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz once, as he puts it, Iran agrees to what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption. He didn't go into specifics, but warned that if they don't agree, in his words, the bombing starts, and it will be, sadly, at a much higher level and intensity than it was before.
That's correspondent Michael Kasner. Get the latest on that developing story on the front page at KTSA.com. A man wanted on numerous felony warrants is dead after he was shot by a San Antonio SWAT team.
It all happened Tuesday night at an apartment complex on the south side. Undercover detectives had tracked the suspect to the location when they decided to call in SWAT. 4 officers showed up in an unmarked car and a flashbang device was used at first. Police say the 30-year-old suspect immediately pulled a gun and started shooting at the officers. 2 returned fire, killing the man at the scene. SAPD says he was facing charges including assault, property crime, drug dealing, and parole violation. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
A new poll shows Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton leading incumbent Senator John Cornyn in the Republican runoff for the U.S. Senate. The survey by University of Houston's Hobby School of Public Affairs found Paxton ahead of Cornyn by 3 percentage points, 48 to 45%. Cornyn edged Paxton in the March 3rd primary when neither candidate won 50% of the vote. The winner of the May 26th runoff will face Democrat candidate James Tallarico come November. May not seem like the best idea to those concerned about academics in the U.S., but it seems a 4-day school week is getting more and more popular around the U.S., including the Lone Star State.
More schools nationwide are embracing the idea, especially in rural areas. More than 2,000 schools in 26 states are now on a 4-day schedule. Studies show mixed academic results. Critics argue struggling students can fall behind, and families face childcare challenges. But south of Tucson, Patagonia Public Schools are reporting positive results after switching to a 4-day week 2 years ago. Math scores are up 7%.
It's correspondent Sophie Flay. KTSA News Time 9:03.
Good morning. Just cleared one of our trouble spots. This report sponsored by ExpressPros.com. That wreck at 35 northbound, the off-ramp to Weidner, has reopened. Still have that stall at 281 southbound Jones-Malzberger, 2 left lanes blocked. And a stalled 18-wheeler, Rittiman, westbound Gibbs Sprawl, 2 right lanes blocked. Facing production swings or a tough skills gap, Workforce Solutions from Express Employment Professionals makes hiring easier. Find your local office, see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
You may want to take your umbrella today. It'll be cloudy to start, then a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a thunderstorm. Warm and humid, the high of 83. Becoming cloudy and cooler tonight, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 75 degrees, still mostly cloudy at San Antonio's Severe Weather Station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550, KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550, KTSA.
Hey, boys, y'all got to help me out, Jimmy and Christian. Y'all got to help me out, man. These two right here, Sean and Elaine.
Yep.
you know what they say about laughter being contagious and people start laughing? What else is contagious?
Snot.
What is that?
Snot. Snot.
Not
snot.
We're not
Sneezing.
snotting.
Where do you come up with snot?
Sneezing is the
Yawning.
answer. Oh, yawning.
These two have spent the entire. What are y'all doing at night?
No, Trey's showing pictures of the good old days when he would ride bulls and ride horses, and me and Sean are like, that's pretty cool. That's great.
Trey, I don't think they're tired. I think they're bored.
I see how you are. I will say this in my man's defense here. Okay, I'm getting up earlier because we're doing more prep and video and crap and stuff like that. We're all that stuff.
Crap.
So good crap. It's good crap. So I'm getting up earlier, but my wife doesn't get home till like 6. After 6. So I'm not going to bed any earlier.
Yeah.
So I can see my wife. Or I go to bed.
I don't know the last time that we went to sleep together, me and Ralph.
Yeah, I know, me too. The same thing.
I don't even see him.
I know. So I stay. Well, that's why I stay. I'm not going to bed any earlier.
Yeah.
but I'm getting up earlier. And that's why I'm always so cantankerous, Trey.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses here.
Yeah,
I really am.
It's all DNA. That's
I
why
like
he's
the horse
cantankerous.
pictures. What's that?
It's all DNA. That's why you're cantankerous.
I'm cantankerous to my genes.
Yes. It's just how. It's just how.
I get it from my mom. She was always in a bad mood too. Oh God. So
well, anyway.
I like the horse pictures. I wish we still got around that.
We
way.
were talking about the bull thing, and I got pictures
Right.
of me with the bulls, and so I was just going to share them with you. But you're right,
We're
Elaine.
not bored.
Yeah,
Just,
you're right. It doesn't matter.
Those are the good old days.
It doesn't. Well, they were pretty good.
They were
I just
pretty
showed
good
him a
days.
picture of me on one of my horses with Justin in front of me,
I've seen that one.
and Nancy behind me,
Nancy
and we were
behind
riding
you.
along through the pasture.
What's weird about you showing me that picture, since we're just having fun here, is face puke memories come up. On my face puke memories today, when I first got here, Arnie, remember our sales guy Arnie, tried to sell me to a horse ranch. Well, that sounded funny. He wanted me to endorse a horse ranch where they train people on how to ride horses and stuff. So I got to go visit. I've been on a horse. I've ridden horses. So I went down there, and they wouldn't let me ride the horse because of this, liability crap. And I was like, let me ride the horse. I know how to ride a horse. They wouldn't let me. So that picture came up today while you're showing me pictures of your horse.
Of you riding a horse.
Well, I didn't get to ride it. They didn't let me. I wanted to ride it. I wanted to let me ride it around. Let me ride it.
Did you grow up riding the horse on the beach in Delaware?
I didn't grow up in Delaware.
I think this is a big story, right?
I actually learned how to ride when I was about 12 years of age.
Is there evidence?
I went to
Galloping through the waves.
I can ride a horse. I've ridden a horse.
His hair is mane, his hair flying like a horse's tail.
I rode a horse through Red Rocks, or not Red Rocks, Pikes Peak, and all around there.
Like
so
a
I've
Hallmark
ridden
movie.
Colorado.
Wear a beanie or a cowboy hat?
I was wearing a cowboy hat in Maryland when it wasn't cool, and everybody thought I was gay. I have a long history with cowboy hats and horses.
At one point, Sean was gay, but not anymore. He was at one point, but not anymore.
No,
right.
I never was gay. No. What the hell are we talking about?
I have no idea.
I don't
know. Letting you guys roll.
Yeah, this
It's a
segment
show
is
for
all
horse
pictures. I'm just envisioning Sean on a horse looking like Mel Gibson in Braveheart or something,
Freedom! I love riding horses.
No
man.
beard,
I'd love
'cause
to
he
get
shaved
around.
back then.
I'd love to get around on horseback. I think it's a great way to get around.
Did you ever
It's
get
just
tossed off
a little
one?
slower.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
You've been
that's
tossed off a horse?
Yeah, I've got
That's rough.
little bucked off, and then
Bucked off. He said bucked off.
and then you make that sound when you hit the ground.
Well, I showed you Jackpot. And
Jackpot is the crazy horse? Or?
It was cantankerous. I'd get him to a full gallop, and then he'd suck in his gut, and the saddle would slide, and off I'd go. He'd find a tree, and he would lift up and try and pin me between him and a tree, tried to kill me.
Wow.
This is when Jackpot ended up going away.
Oh, my God. He became super glue.
I was going to say, is he now in a bottle of Elmer's?
Dog food. Dog
food.
Dog food. We had 60 head of Longhorn, and my dad. I was working on a pen, and my dad came out with his gun, and he's walking toward the back, and I said, "Where are you going with that thing? What are you going to do?" And he said, "I'm going to kill that damn horse." I said, "Not back there, Dad. What happened?" He said, "It ran one of my Longhorns through the fence, through the barbed wire fence. She was all cut up."
And then he Christy Nolan to him.
So, well, he was going to.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm gonna kill that damn horse." I said, "Dad, don't do it back there, because he'll tell me, go get that damn horse and load him up. He's dead. You'll have to put him on the, you'll have to put him on the trailer
And then
yourself."
send Christy the tail.
That's right.
For her hair.
For her hair.
Nice extension.
Anyway, we didn't kill him. We sold him.
All right. We're just horsing around. We're just horsing around on the air, aren't we?
We sold him to Christy Noam, the Noam family in South Dakota. So tell them what happened there. In the horse. Anyway, yes, we're just horsing around for a minute. Every once in a while you got to do that.
Well, yeah, I got to add a little entertainment value.
We got a ran and everything else going on.
Have a few jokes.
Not one yawn.
Huh?
Not one yawn during that
In
9
about
minutes.
5 minutes.
Y'all have been yawning all day, though. I don't know. Sean's getting up early, so he can't. He's not sleeping.
I thought they were very engaged in this segment. I thought they were paying attention. They were.
But
not
Jimmy,
bored.
I don't think they really are.
But look at what it's taken to get rid of those yawns. this segment. Wow. We prepped for this one, folks.
No, we didn't. Anyway. Anyway, that Iran thing may be over. We may have a one-page dealio with the Iranians in 48 hours.
That's a good transition.
Is it just going to be
that's a good transition.
Is it just going to be bullet points on this one page?
Well, yeah.
Well, it doesn't need to be anything else. Yeah. Why should it be anything more than a page?
And you know what they are? You know what it says? You will not get nukes.
That's all.
It's not even a full page.
That's all it is. You will not get nukes. That's it.
The tax code should be one page, and the Iran deal should be one page.
You know what? I am going to get real serious here for just a second. And I mean this. I'm not kidding around. I'm going to get serious here. Tanner Horner. I want to talk about this guy. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Several weeks ago, I brought this guy up and I asked the question: why is he still alive? This is the former FedEx driver that threw the little girl in the back of his FedEx truck and raped her and killed her and threw her body out in the woods. I'm sorry, but I waited until after 9 o'clock when the kiddos would be in school, and the kiddos ain't listening right now.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell you what happened to him yesterday. In fact, I'll let the judge tell you what happened to him yesterday.
The court that you, Tanner Lynn Horner, has been adjudged to be guilty of the offense of capital murder is found by the jury. Jury having answered the special issues making it mandatory that your punishment be death, it is therefore the order of this court that your punishment be death. Before the hour of sunrise on a date to be determined by this court, upon a mandate of affirmance issued by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals at the State Penitentiary in Huntsville, Texas, you will be caused to die in accordance with the rules and regulations established by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice until you, said Tanner Horner, are dead. Said execution procedure shall be determined.
Okay, and then the judge gets all technical with the rest of it there. Look, there's no reason to wait. The man admitted to it. We know what he did. He's the guy who did it. You execute this guy today, and 30 years from now, you're not going to find out it was somebody else. We have him on video doing it. We have her audio, which is the worst thing you'll ever hear.
Yeah.
Put a bullet in that guy today. Put a bullet between his eyes today. Take him out right now and end his life.
Well, we got it done. I mean, he's been sentenced to death. I mean, he's got an appeal, obviously. But here in Texas, they seem to move a little quicker on that than in other places.
He'll sit for 35 years, and we'll take care of him for 35 years. Least, and you and I will die before he does.
Well, he's the very definition of why you have a death penalty. So it should not take quite that long. I agree.
They will be talking about this long after you and I are gone. They're going to be saying, well, it's about time for him to – he's at Huntsville. He moved up to death row. That's why we have problems with this. Go ahead, like I said 2 weeks ago, and put him in general pop for a week.
Let
him deal with general
know how to take care
done
of business.
Quickly.
Yeah, just let him live in general pop for about a week. And if they don't take care of it, then you take him out behind the barn at Huntsville, and you handle business, and you make sure everybody knows he's gone. Because this guy did the worst thing you could possibly ever think about doing to this little 7-year-old baby girl. And she, if you hear the audio, it will break your heart. I do not recommend it.
No, I'm not going to listen to it.
You'll never get it out of your head.
I don't need to listen to it. But, I mean, you're right. I mean, this is, again, the very definition of why you have capital punishment. This is the very definition. This guy is why you have that final line you cannot cross, or we take your life. And you're right. They shouldn't sit on appeal for 30 years. I mean, you got to get her done. I mean, an appeal, you have the legal right to an appeal. I'm repeating myself. I've said this a number of occasions on this show. When it comes to the death penalty, the forensic technology has gotten so precise that the idea that you could screw it up, because that's always what kind of held me back for a few years when I was younger as far as the death penalty, is that the potential for making a mistake is there, and you can't really take that one back. Mm-hmm. But the forensic technology now is so precise, even more so than it was 10 years ago.
And I agree with you that mistakes have been made. They've been very, very small, infinitesimal. I'm not
talking about this guy.
No, I know. But even back in the day, the what do I want to say? Not the barrier. I guess
the ratio of
the ratio is super low as to mistakes that we have made. The barrier is so high in order to get a conviction on a cap murder, but also number two, to get a death penalty, you almost always had a guarantee that that guy did it. In this case, we were talking about cameras earlier. We got camera.
We
got camera.
There's no doubt with this guy.
We can see him do it.
Right.
And so there's no way you're going to make a mistake here. Get her done. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to try to offer just a slight silver lining. This outcome is what you hoped that you would have when Amber Hagerman was abducted under very, very similar circumstances. I was living in Arlington at that time, and it was as awful as that was. That's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years ago this year.
That's right.
And today, you got that different outcome. I don't believe they ever found the guy with Hagerman.
They didn't?
No, never found him.
So, and the message is clear. If you do this in Texas, we're going to exterminate you, and we're going to do it immediately. We're not going to wait. We're not going to pussyfoot around here. We're going to take care of it, and we're going to do it right now. So keep your hands off our little girls.
Yeah,
don't touch our little girls.
I was very happy with the outcome.
Yeah, big time. Hey, I want to tell you about Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. At Quarter Moon, now they've been around for 37, 38 years, something like that. And Joel and his brother Craig, they do a great job every day at Quarter Moon making sure that you have what you need for your AC and your plumbing, whether it's a new water heater or a couple of water heaters, or maybe it's one of those systems that you don't have a water heater, the tankless type deal, or whatever it is you're looking for. The AC systems that we're headed into a very hot summer, and you're going to need a great AC system, and if you have one that's not working all that well, then Quarter Moon's going to hook you up with the best in the business. Your current AC system, if it is smelly, and that can happen because of the humidity around here, you call Quarter Moon and ask about the Breathe Easy package, because what they do is they come out and they clean the entire thing. They take it apart and they clean the entire thing. The box, they clean the blower, boom, 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 take care of that. Then they install one of those UV lights in the box itself to make sure that stuff doesn't grow back. Particularly if you're having trouble with allergies, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. Snuffy nose and all that watery eyes. I highly recommend this to help you with your allergies as well. And at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, just mention the Trey Ware Breathe Easy package. They'll take great care of you at Just call Quarter Moon. That's it. 210-651-5899. Sun and clouds. A thunderstorm possible today. 84 for the high. Cooler tomorrow. 70. Right now, 65 KTSA.
Good morning. Just cleared that trouble spot at 281 southbound Jones-Maltsberger. Still have the stalled 18-wheeler at Rittiman and Gibbs Sprawl. They are having a heck of a time getting that out of there. 2 right lanes are blocked. An accident on 410 westbound before you get to Broadway. It's on the frontage road. It's got a right lane and the median blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Breaking news, bold analysis, and the stories shaping our future. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
cleanmydryervent.org. That's cleanmydryervent.org.
Spring is here, and there's never been a better time to upgrade your home with new Window World windows, siding, doors, and more from Window World. For a limited time during our spring savings event, get 0% interest for 15 months or take advantage of payments as low as $99 a month for up to 10 years with approved credit. And that's not all. Upgrade your home's look with our premium architectural series by Windsor, available in over 50 beautiful painted or stained finishes. Take $200 off every window and $300 off any patio door. Whether you're boosting curb appeal, increasing energy efficiency, or just ready for a fresh new look, Window World has you covered. Proudly 4th generation, locally family owned, we're committed to service for generations. But don't wait, these limited time savings won't last long. Call Window World of San Antonio today or visit windowworldtx.com to schedule your free in-home consultation online. Window World, quality you can trust from a family that's been serving San Antonio and the Texas Hill Country for generations.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in San Antonio. Call 726-202-1300. Visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, this is Taylor with Patriot Dryer Vent Cleaning. If your dryer is taking more than one cycle, that's a warning sign your vent may be clogged. Don't wait. This can be a serious fire hazard. Schedule your cleaning today at cleanmydryervent.org. That's cleanmydryervent.org.
San Antonio's conservative superstation. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
And we are Ware and Rima 922.
I like the new logo for the National Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Trump put that out yesterday. Nice. Is that official? Is that officially what we're calling it now? Has he actually renamed it, or is it just he's just doing the logo and saying it? I think he's just saying it. I don't think it's official yet.
I'm calling it that.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Now, that's a perfectly Trumpian move.
Sure it is.
Okay, you just add an N to ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and all of a sudden, if they were to make that actual, every single time one of these ICE-hating reporters had to mention them in a story, they would almost be compelled. I mean, not that they would, but they would sort of be compelled to call it nice if that's the official name.
Well, they would, and that should be the official name. That was a suggestion from one of his voters who sent that to him and said exactly what you just said. If you start calling it that, then every time Jake Tapper does a story and tries to slander ICE, he'll have to call them nice agents. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Wasn't it? That was after the last shutdown, I think, or the earlier shutdown when they were the ICE guys were at the airports handing out bottles of water to people. Was that when that?
Well, no, this was just a couple of weeks ago when she sent that suggestion to him, and he put it out. He said, "This is a great suggestion. I like this a lot." And then they put together a video of them, and I put it up on the X account of them doing all kinds of nice things.
Yeah. Oh, that's for the video because when the airports were the TSA agents were gone, the nice guys
they were handing out
were at
water.
the airports, like making sure people were okay, handing out water and stuff. So I think that's hilarious. I hope it becomes actual. We spent probably one of the bigger stories we've talked about today was Marco Rubio yesterday in what was, and I said this a little while ago. Normally, you watch these press briefings, and it's what we do for a living. You sit through them. We sit through a press briefing almost every day with Caroline Leavitt. Even the Trumpster, sometimes when the Trumpster is in front of a camera, he just goes on and on and on. And very often, these things become tedious for me. I mean, I watch them, and I remember what's said and jot down notes so I, can talk about the parts that stuck out to me. But by and large, I think a lot of it can be very tedious. Rubio, that was the first one in a long time where I was, just being honest, I was truly captivated. Like, I really was there for the guy and taking interest. We had just had a conversation about messaging yesterday morning, and specifically messaging in regards to Iran and the higher gas prices and how, that's been affecting MAGA support for a few weeks now, and how do you message that? How do you address that? And I thought Rubio was brilliant. I mean, he was asked that. In fact, Fox is doing a story on that. He was asked about that very specific question. What do you say to people who are paying more at the gas pump and they know it's basically directly a result of these operations in Iran. And first, he made the case that we're doing the world a favor. The world should be happy we're doing this because you shouldn't have, as you point out, crazy people with essentially their hand on the jugular of oil production and oil transport on the planet. But then he made the very, very real case. What do you think you'd be paying? And I'm paraphrasing, but what do you think you'd be paying if these guys had an actual nuke that they could use, and then they were wielding control over the strait, and then they decided to charge $8-9 a gallon, or up the price? Okay, you'd be paying a lot more with a nuclear Iran, and there's, his words, nothing we could do about it at that point. And I thought that was a very effective argument. I think that's a message that they need to really hammer and keep repeating. Now, it could all become moot as of today because since we've been on the air, we're hearing about this new one-page proposal. The timeline we're hearing about this is 48 hours. They're in talks with China today, so this may be a moot conversation already. But I think that kind of messaging, to bring it back home again and say, what do you think you'd be paying if you had a nuclear Iran? Let alone the danger of people getting blown up with nuclear weapons.
One of my frustrations from the beginning of this has been the messaging. I brought it up to you several times that he and Trump and the rest of them should be all over the podcasting world just like he did yesterday and should be telling these people. And then as you explain it the way Trump did yesterday, he did a good job too. And the way Marco explained it yesterday, it makes sense, and it will make sense to a Joe Rogan, and then let him carry the story. Because what happens is Rogan's people will cut that up and they'll put it on Instagram. And the people who don't typically follow the president, don't follow the president's channels and all that stuff, they'll see it because Rogan's people will post it. Then the word starts to get out. They rape women before they kill them so they do not get into heaven.
Well, and Rogan has obviously a lot of impact. Just a couple of weeks ago when he was saying Iran is crazy, what are we doing here? I didn't vote for this. That rippled throughout the news world and the media world for a couple of days. So you're right. I mean, but that message has got to be encapsulated like that and clear.
Did a good job.
You've got to bring it home to people.
More coming up in a minute. More Ware and Rima in just a few minutes. I want to tell you about my friends at ownwell.com. Ownwell.com. That's where you go to sign up to have these people protest your property taxes. I don't know. I think it was 4 years ago now, something like that. We signed up with Ownwell, and it's real simple to do. It takes about 3 minutes at ownwell.com. Ownwell, OWNWELL, ownwell.com. Then they protest your property taxes for you. And if they don't get your property taxes reduced, well, then you don't owe them anything. It's that simple. Now, in our case, I know that they have saved us thousands of dollars on our property taxes over the last 4 or so years that we have been associated with them. And it's taken all the stress off of Nancy because she was the one who, organized the protest and got everything together and put on the pretty clothes and went downtown and all that stuff that she had to go through to get this done. She didn't have to do that anymore because Ownwell takes care of all that for us. I love these guys over at Ownwell. They've helped thousands of people in our area, just like you, get their property taxes reduced. What would you do with an extra $1,000 in your pocket right now? Wouldn't that be great? Well, Ownwell can make those types of things a reality for you. And again, if they don't get your property taxes reduced, you don't owe them a penny. But the deadline is the 15th, so it's the 6th now, only a few more days for the deadline to file your protest. So don't wait another minute. Why don't you sign up right now at ownwell.com and mention Trey Ware, ownwell.com.
Ware and Rima, on air and online every morning.
And actually, they become hot as a pistol, so what can I tell you?
Watch the show weekday morning 6 till 10, only on KTSA.com.
Are you still feeling all that from the tax sting of April 15th? I know a lot of us are, but in many cases, it doesn't have to be this way. If you have never sat down with a true fiduciary financial planning firm that looks at every opportunity to help mitigate your taxes, talk to my friends at Wealth Watch Advisors, because that's exactly what they do. They focus on clients who want to be intentional with their tax strategy, which is exactly what I want to do, not just filing, but actually planning ahead. And in some cases, they can help reduce your tax bill through smart, tax-efficient investment strategies of all kinds. That's exactly what they do. Now, this is not about loopholes. It's not about gimmicks and games. It's about understanding the tax code, using it to your advantage legally and intelligently. So if you're earning well, but you're handing too much over to Uncle Sam. Believe you me, I know what that's like. Well, our friends over at Wealth Watch Advisors are here to help you with all that. It's time for a different approach. All you got to do is call them, Wealth Watch Advisors at 210-249-5360. This message is a paid endorsement. Investment advisory services offered through Wealth Watch Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results. But if you are handing way too much to Uncle Sugar at the end of the year, don't be doing that anymore. Get in touch with Wealth Watch Advisors, 210-249-5360.
Hey, it's Sean. As you know, I've needed a lot of medical stuff over the past few years, and that's why coverage through work is so very important to me, and that's why you should talk to my friends at Texacare. If you're a small business owner in Texas, Texacare is healthcare coverage built by Texans for Texans, and trust is in their DNA. Texacare is the health affiliate of Texas Mutual, who has been the leading workers' compensation insurance provider for Texas businesses for 30 years. Now, what makes Texacare different? Texacare's plans were developed after listening to Texas small businesses and crafting benefits that work for them and their needs, such as 4 no copay visits per member per year for your primary care, such as cardiologists, dermatologists, mental health professionals, physical therapy, chiropractic, and other providers. So talk to my friends at Texacare. If you're a business owner in Texas, you will thank me later. It's very easy to do. Just go to the website, Texacare.com. That's Texacare.com. Take care, Texas, with Texacare.
A bathroom remodel is not just about looks. It's about comfort, safety, and function, too. Trey Ware here with Safe Showers and Bathwise. They have now joined forces with New Bath Today to bring you more. They're the same trusted people, same great service, and now a whole lot more for you and your new bathroom remodel. New Bath Today still offers beautiful new showers, tub-to-shower conversions, walk-in tubs, and safety upgrades, but now they've expanded to include more complete bathroom remodeling, including toilets, flooring, vanities, and more. So whether you want a safer shower or a total bathroom refresh, I recommend you get in touch with New Bath Today. They can help you create a bathroom that looks better, feels better, and works better for your life. You get quality products, expert installation, and a smoother experience from start to finish. And right now, get $1,500 off your new shower plus low monthly payments. Get your free quote today at newbathtoday.com. New Bath Today, the same trusted team now with more for your bathroom. newbathtoday.com.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rock and Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
There's a one-page deal the U.S. is offering Iran, but unclear is whether the war-torn nation will accept it. KTSA is watching that story. One man facing a murder charge after a body was found inside an RV that had been set on fire in Hondo. And it's Game 2 between the Spurs and the T-Wolves tonight at Frost Bank Center. Minnesota leads the series 1-0 tip-off set for 8:30. KTSA News Time 9:35.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot far north side. This report sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance on 1604 eastbound at 281. Got an accident, left lane. Already a 10-minute delay, so from Bitters, this just occurred. Got a stall at I-10 westbound Callahan, right lane. If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA builds better athletes, better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
You may want to take your umbrella today. It'll be cloudy to start, then a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a thunderstorm. Warm and humid, the high of 83. Becoming cloudy and cooler tonight, the low 63 along the Riverwalk and 57 in Hill Country. Cloudy, breezy, and cooler Thursday, the high 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Cloudy skies, 78 degrees at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
I do too. Yeah, 9:36, Ware and Rima, KTSA. So between hearing Breathe and Push yesterday, Caroline Levitt was watching.
What?
Breathe and push. Breathe. Push. Push. Breathe. Push. Breathe. She's watching this.
All right, can I? There's no way I can figure out who to call on. I'm just going to like press right in the middle. Right there. You right there. Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Right in the back row.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I'll go to you next. I can't get everything. You know that. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Secretary Rubio. Keep going right. Welcome to the White House.
What's that?
Talking to me, sir?
Yeah, to you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have two questions on two separate...
This guy, we talked about him in the last half hour. We've been talking about him all morning. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday. Marco Rubio.
Right there, in the black. Right you in the black. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Where you? No, right there. You. I know you both are wearing black. She's closer. No, you don't have black. You have blue on. I'm colorblind, but I know blue and black. Right there. Yes, ma'am. No, you. The first one I called on.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you. This is chaos, guys.
This is total chaos. And it does, and Caroline Levitt does a great job of taking care of it. And in this case, this is something Caroline couldn't have done. A reporter asked him a question in Spanish.
Tell you about what we're talking about with the leader of these countries.
El Departamento de Estado sigue considerando a Diosdado Cabello un narcoterrorista y un narcotraficante, como dice en la página del Departamento de Estado.
La política de Estados Unidos en ese tema no ha cambiado, y cuando cambie te dejaremos saber.
Oh, man, that's so good. And then, of course, the DJ name question.
Secretary, many people want to know, what is your DJ name?
My DJ name?
Your DJ name.
You're not ready for my DJ name.
It was great. I mean, it was, like I said, it was really captivating, and his command of the issues is impressive. It's kind of a weak word to use.
Yeah, for sure. Here he is again.
All right. I have time for two more questions. All right, right there in the pink. No, you right there. The one right next to you in the pink. No, the pink. I'm sorry, but I pointed at her. I need to get a laser pointer.
A laser pointer definitely would have helped. But then, of course, he got around to talking about what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz and why this is so important to do what we're doing.
Global problems. What is the purpose of the UN? The UN was supposed to be a place where you could peacefully resolve global conflict. Right now, you have a country who is unlawfully, criminally, and illegally taking possession of an international waterway and blowing up commercial vessels and putting mines in the water. I don't know if people appreciate how outrageous this is, how unacceptable it is that any country would fire and try to sink commercial vessels or put mines in the water. Both of these things are illegal. And so we're going to take it to the UN, and we're going to give it another chance to be a forum in which we're not even asking people to commit troops to the region and help blow up the Iranian boats. All we're asking them to do is to condemn it, to call on Iran to stop blowing ships, to remove these mines, and to allow humanitarian relief to come through. Because
they'll never do it because it's the United States asking them to do that. He was asked a very significant question about the promise of America.
Deal with that.
Yeah, look, I mean, my hope for America is what it's always been. I think it's the hope I hope we all share. We want it to continue to be the place where anyone from anywhere can achieve anything, where you're not limited by the circumstances of your birth, by the color of your skin, by your ethnicity, but frankly, it's a place where you are able to overcome challenges and achieve your full potential. I think that should be the goal of every country in the world, frankly, but I think in the U.S., we're not perfect. Our history is not one of perfection, but it's still better than anybody else's history. And ours is a story of perpetual improvement. Each generation has left the next generation of Americans freer, more prosperous, safer, and that is our goal as well. But it is a unique and exceptional country, and as we come upon this 250-year anniversary, I think we have a lot to learn and be proud of in our history. It is one of perpetual and continuous improvement, where each generation has done its part to bring us closer to fulfilling the vision that the founders of this country had upon its founding.
That is the best way I've ever heard that put.
Oh, yeah.
No matter who. And he also addressed the War Powers Act, because the Democrats are going to try to go after Trump, saying he's violating the War Powers Act, which is absolute 100% nonsense. Here's Marco Rubio's answer.
Look, guys, I love talking about this topic. He's about the War Powers Act. Yeah. Okay, I love it. I was hoping somebody would ask. All right, hold on. No, boy, you don't let me answer. I got to answer the question. Okay, and I love it. I'll tell you why I love it. Because even as a senator, I said something. The War Powers Act is unconstitutional, 100%. Now, this is not the position of me, not the position of the President of the United States now. This is the position of every single president that has occupied this position since the day that law passed. It's completely unconstitutional. Now, we comply with it in terms of like notification because we want to preserve good relations with Congress, right? And we do that. But even as a senator, I would say that the War Powers Act is 100% unconstitutional. And look, I know some of you, whatever you want to say, but this is not this president's position. That has been the position of every single presidential administration since the day that law passes. An infringement on the president's constitutional powers. We don't acknowledge the law as constitutional. Nonetheless, we comply with elements of it for purposes of maintaining, good relations with Congress. And we want them to be involved and we want them to be informed. I have gone on Capitol Hill, 4 times this year for all senators and all House members and Intel Committee and Gang of 8. We want them to be involved in this. But I want to be clear on the point of the War Powers Act. It's unconstitutional.
Very well put.
Oh, very well put. And I'm seeing a story that's been breaking over the past few minutes, and I'm thinking about how he, that was a very long press conference. He handled it very well. We said earlier today that if it comes down to he or JD, I really think he's got more of the presidential thing going on. I'm really liking him a lot. Again, you look at the journey we've had with Marco Rubio over the past 10 years, and it's really interesting and wonderful to watch him kind of blossom in this place in history right now. Ted Turner passed away at the age of 87. He had Lewy body, and the reason it popped into my head is because you think about the way we consume news. So whatever you think about Ted Turner, and politics and Jane Fonda and colorizing Casablanca and all that crap that we used to talk about back in the day, he really brought us that 24-hour news cycle where you have live cameras on presidential press conferences that go on for an hour, where you have access to our political leaders round the clock. You don't have to wait for Dan Rather to tell you what happened for it. Now, I'm not saying I was a huge fan, but he definitely had an impact on what you and I do for a living.
Sure.
That's immeasurable.
Sure.
Sure.
An avowed communist, and that's why we wouldn't agree with it.
Right.
But very clearly had transformed cable television and made it explode, because it was not. It was there.
Oh, yeah.
Cable television existed before Ted Turner, but he really took cable television as a whole to a brand new level. And then, of course, news coverage to an entirely different level. And the network is so biased now. Completely.
God.
They, in many respects, they are worse than M. Snow. All right, let me tell you about our friends over at River City Oral Surgery. That's Dr. Mark Havercorn at River City Oral Surgery. Have you been told by your dentist that you need implants, or something's not right? You got missing or broken teeth or whatever. Instead of just, reaching for the phone book, as they used to say back in the day, and dialing somebody up, let me tell you about River City Oral Surgery. No games, no gimmicks, no tricks. Jack says that when you go to some of these places, you spend more time with the finance officer than you do with the doctor, and that is true with a lot of these places. But it's not true with River City Oral Surgery. You know why? Because they don't have any salespeople. That's not what they do. They have medical professionals. They have specialists. So what you see on the website is what you pay to get these implants done. And then you're going to be seen by 3 different specialists to make this implant procedure work in an excellent way for you. So I love these guys. I love what they do. I love the fact that there's no high pressure, there's no sales involved at all. They're not trying to upsell you on anything. So if you have even considered dental implants, right now is the time to go to their website, book your appointment, go in and have your evaluation done, and you'll see everything on their website, completely and totally upfront and transparent. RiverCityOMS.com. Sun and clouds today with a thunderstorm possible this afternoon. 84 for the high, 67 right now at KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a busy midday going on. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Let's start with this wreck at 1604 eastbound 281. 12-minute delay slow from Bitters. It's in the left lane. I-10 westbound Callahan, that's a stall, right lane blocked. Road work downtown, 35 southbound at 37. This is 2 right lanes closed. On 410 northbound at Houston Street, roadway reduced to 1 lane. And road work 410 southbound at 35, roadway reduced to 1 lane. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more, Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Do you know what the shape of your roof is? I mean, I'm talking about the condition. Do you know? Most people don't, because it's just there and you don't think about it until you have a very obvious problem. But the problem is, by the time the problem is obvious, you got a major repair issue that's going to cost you a lot of money, and you don't want to get there. So that's why Stevens Roofing, your local roofing contractor, will send out a qualified roofing expert who will do a thorough inspection of your roof, the most thorough I've ever seen. They look at every single shingle if that's what you've got. They look at all the match points if you've got standing seam metal. They look at the caulking around the vent pipes. They look at the flashing where it all meets, like around your chimney and stuff like that. If you have issues or they see that issues may be developing, they're going to talk with you about that. They're going to show you on their laptop what they got going on and how they can fix it. If you need a whole new roof, there is none better. They have all grades of shingles available to them, all the major manufacturing brands available to them, and they use them all based on what it is you're looking to do with your roof. They do it all at Stevens Roofing, but it begins with a free, no-obligation roof inspection. This is not a hard sale deal. I'm not going to send somebody out there who's going to try to twist your arm into buying something you don't need. Stevens will never, ever do that. So give them a call and get your free roof inspection from Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994.
These are today's top headlines.
Talks on, talks off, talks in limbo as President Trump threatens new strikes if Iran won't accept a peace deal. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick appears before House Oversight today to explain his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Remember Vivek Ramaswamy? He got the Republican nomination for governor of Ohio last night to face Democrat Amy Acton.
Don't miss a thing. Stay connected for whatever's next.
News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
At the Law Office of Sean C. Brown, we've been representing clients for over 25 years. This is Sean Brown. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call me today at 210-224-8200 or visit SeanBrownLaw.com. That's SeanBrownLaw.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Get familiar with an easy way to Europe via nonstop flights to Toronto. Connect to Spain, Germany, and more with Air Canada and SAT. See fares and book today at aircanada.com.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
President Trump needs conservative fighter Carlos de la Cruz in Congress.
That's why President Trump gave Carlos de la Cruz his complete and total endorsement. 20-year Air Force veteran, businessman, outsider, Carlos de la Cruz is a Trump conservative who will always fight for Texas, and he needs your vote on May 26th. Vote May 26th for Carlos de la Cruz, the only candidate backed by the National Border Patrol Council. And Carlos de la Cruz is the only candidate backed by President Trump and his MAGA warriors in Congress. They support Carlos de la Cruz because they know he will always stand with President Trump. On May 26th, vote Carlos de la Cruz for Congress.
I'm Carlos de la Cruz, and I approve this message. I'll always stand with Texas and President Trump.
Paid for by Carlos de la Cruz for Congress.
Get the latest local news, weather, and traffic online at KTSA.com. This is News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
$9:51, Ware and Rima, KTSA with Jack Riccardi. Jack is 60 coming up at 10:03. A number of years ago, Jack, when you were doing the 9 to 1, I'll never forget this. You came in to prepare, and I came out, and we looked at each other after Marco Rubio had delivered the rebuttal to Barack Obama's State of the Union. We both went, "What was that?" The shaky water bottle and everything. Well, man, he's come a long way, hasn't he?
He really has, although he was drinking water at the White House podium yesterday. I did see that. I wondered if that was like a little tribute, like maybe he did that for us.
Yeah.
But it looked steadier. And, I'm sure many of us have revised our opinions of him. Maybe not everybody and not in the same direction. But, yeah, he's right now, he is a man in full, flourish or whatever of his capabilities. He's like peak Marco Rubio.
Everybody loves him. He keeps putting these memes up with him wearing different hats because he's wearing a lot of different hats in this administration. They joke about him being secretary of everything, and he carried himself quite well yesterday. Now he's leaving to go meet with the Pope. So,
Yeah, that thing yesterday was a tour de force. I was saying yesterday, you really got to look at that and watch it. And is this sort of a team of rivals thing like Lincoln did? You've got Rubio, you've got Doug Burgum in the cabinet, you've got people that are not natural Trump allies, RFK. It's interesting to watch.
That was an excellent book, by the way.
So good.
Yeah, I recommend that book. So we got that, and then we've got this supposed one-page deal. Now, a couple of weeks ago, it was a Friday, and Sean and I were dancing because it looked like this thing was over with, and blah, blah, blah. The stock market responded. And you came in and you said, we're not done with these guys. This is not the end deal here. And you were right. It didn't take them but about 24 hours before they started screwing around again. So as of right now, I'm being very skeptical about this one-page deal, but what do you think?
You know what I thought when I heard this? First of all, it's almost comical, right? Like the story changes every single day. Yesterday was a detailed description of the Strait of Hormuz operation. What's it called? Project Freedom. Today, it's like, we're not going to do Project Freedom. We've got a deal. It's hilarious. But I remember reading years ago when Trump was still a businessman that he would announce agreement with somebody he was negotiating with before he had it to see what they would do. So he would put out the word, I've made a deal to buy this hotel, or we've agreed in principle to sign this deal, knowing that it wasn't actually done yet, to kind of flush out and move forward the thing that he was working on. Some people hated him for it, and other times it kind of forced their hand. I think he's trying to figure out who's in charge over there, and maybe this is how you flush them out,
Yeah, absolutely. Just on another story, we had a couple of different press briefings yesterday. We had Trump with the little kids there and talking about the presidential health programs and all that stuff. Trump has such an ease with kids, and I had said this earlier. You put whether it's Biden or any other Democrat, Democrats really seem to be awkward and weird around kids. Like, they just don't know how to deal with kids.
Well, they really like the way they smell, I'll tell you that.
They like the way they smell.
I was just about to say, Biden would have sniffed him yesterday.
Or say, let's take a shower, you know what I mean? Like, they can't have an Easter egg roll for kids without half-naked trannies. They're always trying to they just seem like kids make them feel weird and awkward.
Well, because they need kids to be adults.
Yes.
They want to skip right over that, and it's kind of an old school view that when you're a kid, you're still just a kid. Now, that doesn't mean when you're 19, you're still a kid.
Sure.
But those were kids, and he treated them not in a condescending way, but also not like fake, hip, cool.
Right.
Elizabeth Warren. But that just would have been. You know what I liked? I heard a conversation. I think it was on M. Snow about how he can't be the president that promotes fitness because he's fat. And I thought, is that like rich people telling us to care about illegal aliens? Can they not do that because they're rich? I mean, that's a stupid, like, you don't have an argument.
It's like the Met Gala, like filthy, stinking rich people telling you how filthy, awful, filthy,
Well,
stinking
exactly.
rich
I
people
mean,
are.
I wouldn't hold him up as a example of, but he understands. He may not have it, but he understands it's important.
We can't be the commander-in-chief.
I think his whole approach to the fitness test is also like a restoration of the idea of childhood, that you're supposed to be interested in like running a mile and chinning yourself. Not that everybody can do it, but that's an okay thing to aspire to.
He can't be the commander-in-chief because he doesn't fly an F-16 or drive a tank. I mean, come on. That's a ridiculous notion.
Well, after Mike Dukakis, I don't think anybody will be driving a tank again.
I haven't thought of that in a while.
What a great image. From the old hometown there, Jack.
By the way, did you see the Katie Porter TV ad?
Oh my God. Oh, my God.
Where she makes fun of the... Yeah.
Oh. I was going to start this segment by saying, get out of my shot, Jack.
Too soon.
Wow.
I'm a biatch to my staff, but now it's a joke. I don't think so.
Are you going to play it?
Also, I love that she's a single mom in the ad. I'm a single mom. Yeah, because you assaulted your husband and he left you.
You beat your husband up.
It's not exactly a hard luck story.
And what about the minivan with 200,000 miles on it? Oh, my God.
Single mom.
Oh, my God. Classic.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
If that's if California votes for that, they deserve it.
Well,
good and hard.
Everything. See, that's the ridiculousness of it. Everything she criticizes in that ad, she helped create with Gavin Newsom. She caused the problem.
That's true.
Absolutely. Just one more quick thing, Jack. I don't think any of us are going to be taking up bullfighting anytime soon. That seems to be a really... I was looking at the relative height of a bull and the relative height of a bullfighter, and the physics kind of work out to where if they're going to get you, they're going to get you someplace you don't want to be got.
Leave it to you to look that up. I
did look it up.
Yeah. So, were you considering it?
It came up with a guidance counselor in my senior year, but I opted no for the radio thing instead.
You're going to get that scholarship?
The bullfighting scholarship.
The bullfighting scholarship. I'm in the SEC. We're a powerhouse.
I deal with a different kind of bull, in talk radio.
That's true.
All I can tell you guys is in the picture that they put in the New York Post with this story this morning, the bullfighter who's catching it in the spot in the back, he's smiling as he's going up in the air.
Oh, now see.
I'm serious.
That could be a grimace of pain.
Look at that picture.
The fine
he's got
line
a big
between pleasure and pain.
He's got a big. Well, you know what? We're going to leave on that note from Jack Riccardi.
Yes, we are.
It's a fine line between pleasure and pain. Have a great show, Jack, and I'll see you in the morning.
Spread the love. Don't be a